for the South Point Casino 400 here from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We got ourselves a very action-packed race that we are going to be watching here over the next 400 miles. Welcome on in. Ooh, we got a new feature. Oh. Huh. Members only live stream. Yeah, no. Probably not going to be doing that, at least not anytime soon. Certainly not for anything important. I try to, I don't want to lock anything behind a member paywall. Certainly nothing of like the regular content here on the channel. But yeah, we are here. We are ready for this one. Welcome on in. Hopefully everybody's having a good day. Again, once we have the official leaderboard available to us, which should hopefully be soon, we will have it up. But until then, we will be getting ready for this one. We do have some football games going on, as per usual, here on Sundays down the stretch. But we are going to be getting ready for the NASCAR race. Hopefully you guys are excited. I know I certainly am, as we are getting ready for this one. Again, let me know who your guys' race win predictions are. And also who you guys think the championship 4 is going to be, as this is going to be the first race in the round of 8, the first guaranteed golden ticket to the championship 4 at Phoenix is on the line tonight. And obviously I know a lot of people have been kind of doom and gloom about Joey Logano, but realistically, if he doesn't leave here with a good chunk of points, if not a win, Logano's going to be in a real tough spot, because he's starting this round 24 points out. Ooh, just watching the Buccaneers game on the side, and Kate Otten just got spine busted. We're at commercial break over on the NASCAR broadcast. You guys have not missed a thing. They haven't even fired up the engine, so we are getting ready for this one. But yeah, again, golden ticket on the line today. Could we see Denny Hamlin, maybe Kyle Larson or William Byron lock their spot in today? Those are some of the heavy favorites for this one. Could we see someone like a Briscoe, a Bell, one of these other drivers? Or maybe we see a non-playoff driver. Maybe someone like a Ross Chastain, who is going to be hungry for a race win after just barely missing out. I just thought about something. My mic. Oh, no, my mic is working. Okay, good. All right. But yeah, as I say, someone like Ross Chastain, who just barely missed out on the playoffs by a matter of a point or two. Also, I gotta just slide my webcam over a little bit to center me a little bit better on frame. But yeah, someone like a Ross Chastain, who just barely missed out on the playoff on this round of the playoffs. We obviously all saw the move Chastain tried to put on Hamlin. I don't even think it would have counted if he had made it work, but he tried it, and ultimately he came up short, but that doesn't mean he can't go out here and win. He won Kansas last year after failing to make the playoffs. Was it failing to make the playoffs or failing to make it out of the first round? I can't remember, but regardless, he won Kansas after being eliminated from the playoffs, so that is certainly something I would not rule out for today's race, that we could see a non-playoff driver win this thing. Speaking of non-playoff drivers, we got SVG having one of his best oval qualifying performances, following up Kansas, where he had a decent top 20 run going, which ended up turning into, I believe, a 10th place finish, 10th to 13th type finish at Kansas. Let me see. Yes, SVG got 10th. So, I mean, a 10th place run for a driver who is admittedly not that great at ovals and is extremely new to them. I mean, I'll gladly, I think that is a great sign. So, there we go. All right, we are chilling out here. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time. Oh, yeah, we are just walking in here, getting this one all ready to go. So again, they'll be getting the engines fired here momentarily, and we will see cars on track shortly. Welcome on in. Hopefully we are all good to go. Just paranoid, double checking everything. Welcome on in. We got 7 people hanging out in chat. Thank you guys for everybody that's decided to spend a portion of your very valuable Sunday afternoon here with us. All right, let's see. let's pull up the other NFL scores. That way I can go ahead and keep you guys updated. So Titans Raiders just went to halftime, 10-0 Raiders. Good job. Hopefully the Raiders can keep that shutout going. 49ers Buccaneers is going pretty good. Hopefully the Buccaneers can rally back and score some here. And there it is, touchdown. Yeah, Buccaneers. And I have no idea who that is. Number 44, Sean Tucker runs it in for a touchdown there. Packers are up 10-0 over the Bengals, so they are not in position to lose to Joe Flacco for the second time this year already. But yeah, again, just keeping up on some of the football stuff, but obviously we're all here for racing primarily, so we will be getting ready for that once they get the engines fired and cars on track. Go ahead and skip around to ads for you guys. And yeah, we'll get ready for this one, but those are the 3 games going on right now. We also got Lions Chiefs that will probably be starting before this game or before this race concludes. So we'll be keeping an eye on that as well as we get ready to go through this one. And again, Buccaneers putting up some good points there. Please tell me that's hurting the. Please tell me that has to have done a chunk to my opponent's Niners defense. As if points allowed doesn't, then okay, there we go. Now they're in a much more normal range, and I can probably win the week from there. All right, so there we go. Yeah, we are here. We are all set. I've got my fantasy football team I'm keeping an eye on as well. And of course, they have to be close matches because why not? Alright, but yeah, we are just settling in here. Should be getting cars on track as soon as they come back from commercial break. And yeah, we are. And again, if you guys have a driver you want me to follow or keep updated on, feel free to let me know. Even if they're not a playoff driver, I can definitely keep you guys updated on those ones. And yeah, we're just waiting for the start of the race. For whatever reason, the phone version of the leaderboard is up already, but the computer version isn't. So let's see. Does that just work? That get us in? Let's go. There we go. I'm about halfway surprised that worked. Because the fact that it was autofilled probably tells me I've done it before, but there we go. But I'm always kind of surprised when things actually work the way they're supposed to, so. Alright, there we go. That all looks nice and centered. We are good to go. Welcome on in. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Alright, we got 8 people hanging out in chat. Thank you guys for everybody that's spent a portion of your very valuable Sunday afternoon here as we are getting ready to go racing here at Vegas. Again, the first spot in that round in that Phoenix finale and winning this race, as Logano was shown, as Logano showed last year, can be oh so important. You win this race, you get 2 free weeks. These next 2 weeks, you get to sleep very peacefully through Talladega next week. And your team gets to start putting all their efforts into that Phoenix race car for 3 weeks from today. Meanwhile, the rest of the league still has to worry about making it to Phoenix, which Talladega is no short. Talladega is no easy feat. I would not expect I'm not expecting a playoff driver to necessarily win Talladega. I think that's one we could see an upset winner from somebody who's not currently in the playoffs. Maybe someone like a Austin Cindric, who was eliminated previously. Someone like a Michael McDowell, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. could potentially snag a win there. So I am definitely keeping an eye on Talladega next week. Obviously, Logano's struggled to finish there. He hasn't been great at Martinsville, so today is going to be important for him to make a statement towards trying to make it to the next round, or win and automatically punch your ticket, which, of course, I think most people are not rooting for, but would be a very it would be a very hilarious way to end out the one race championship finale, which it does sound like could be seeing an end sooner rather than later here. So, all right, we got cars on track, doubled up, ready to go racing here, and yeah, we are gonna go ahead and hop right on in this one. Hopefully, again, you guys are ready for this race. 400 miles of racing action ahead of us as we get ready to go. All right, we are just chilling out here. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time. All right, let's see. Yeah, knew the outcome of most of those games, so I'm not surprised by most of the scores. There we go. Also, just want to preface as to why I addressed something that, because I know I had mentioned I would be streaming the rest of the Xfinity Series races. Yesterday was just a complete anomaly. Long day at work, stressful day at work, and I did not want to take any frustration or any built up frustration out on you guys. You guys definitely wouldn't have deserved that, and it would not have been my best stream. So I just took it upon myself to take the day off, kind of mentally reset, and come back today with a much more positive attitude. And we are ready to go racing. I am bummed because that race was amazing to watch. I did watch the race last night, so hopefully you guys also enjoyed that phenomenal race that the NASCAR Xfinity Series put on. I mean, they put on amazing races all the time. I'm not overly surprised at this point when I see a great race from the Xfinity Series. But I just figured I'd address it since I had previously said that I'd be streaming the rest of the Xfinity Series races. Barring any future unforeseen instances, I should be here for every remaining Saturday Xfinity Series race through the championship. And I won't be here for Talladega for trucks, but the remainder of the final two truck races we should also be here live for. So that's just kind of addressing the schedule going forward. Again, I will be at the local dirt. Oh wait, I'm next Saturday at Talladega. I might also be out because I just remembered that the local dirt track has their final traditional race of the season before they start shutting stuff up. So I might be there Saturday too. So keep an eye on the channel and the just in the channel post page. I try and make posts whenever I'm gonna go to the dirt track, especially if I'm not planning on going live. Like I didn't go live this past Friday when I went up there, but yep. And again, if you guys ever see me out at the track, whether it's at a NASCAR track, local short track, anywhere, feel free to come up and say hi. You guys are a big part of why I'm able to do a lot of this stuff, so I appreciate each and every one of you guys that has supported me, whether it's the first time you guys have found the stream or if you guys have been here for a while. So, again, thank you guys. Wow, we got 37 people popping in here. Wow. As we are getting ready for the green flag, so we're getting all set up and ready for this one. 3 Las Vegas wins. Man, that is going to be a hard scheme to get used to. Kyle Larson in a black and gold Chevrolet. That thing looks beautiful. Man, I'm not a Kyle Larson fan by a long shot, but man, that paint scheme is beautiful. So there we go. And I just forgot we need to go ahead and do one more thing before we get going, or as we get going here. But yeah, there we go. Man, just taking a deep breath here. Again, hopefully you guys are excited. I know I certainly am, as we are getting ready for this one. Catherine Legg starting at the tail end of the field. Will be one to keep an eye on here. Wow, are these already perfectly synced? That'd be great if it is. Alright, here we go. Let's see. Give me 1 second, guys. Just trying to sync something up here. I think that's already pretty well synced. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty close to perfect, so There we go. We are ready to go racing here. Alright, so there we go. Now let's pull back up chat and see what's going on. We've got 53 people popping on in here already for the start of this race. As the pace car is off, field in the hands of Denny Hamlin and Chase Briscoe as we get ready to drop the green flag on the round of 8. Green flag is out. We are racing here in Las Vegas. As these drivers are going to be going all in and trying to earn that guaranteed, again, a guaranteed spot in the Final Four. One of the most valuable assets in all of NASCAR, a golden ticket to the Final Four. Yeah, none of the NASCAR Xfinity Series drivers last night were able to clinch it. The question is, can one of these Cup drivers? Down the back straightaway into turns 3 and 4. We got Briscoe already challenging his teammate Denny Hamlin for the race lead. We've seen throughout these playoffs, these Toyota teammates maybe not being the most gentle to each other. Denny Hamlin on Ty Gibbs at New Hampshire in the round of 12. Then we saw Denny Hamlin into Bubba Wallace in the final corner at Kansas a couple weeks back. So we know these drivers are not exactly afraid to make contact with each other, but you can't win it on the first lap here, and at least for the moment, it seems like they're giving each other enough space. Briscoe jumps out to a sizable lead as here comes Bell to the inside of Hamlin and looking to try and take this lead away. You've got a couple of Hendrick Chevys right in behind them as well. You've got Elliott Byron lurking right there as well. So a lot of fast playoff drivers here near the front already. I believe I see a Tyler Reddick in the picture as well. So we do have some non-playoff drivers in the mix, and we could see a non-playoff driver win this race. As I mentioned, there is a very real possibility a Reddick, a Chastain could win this one. Hey, Delta Aviation, how's it going? I hope Bubba wins. Hey, again, as I said, non-playoff driver. I could very much see a world where a non-playoff driver wins here. And there's Bubba Wallace taken to the high side, up top with Kyle Larson trying to make a pass. Not sure if he'll be able to stick up top. He is going to stay side by side down the back straightaway, and he is going to clear Kyle Larson heading down into turns 3 and 4. So good move by Bubba Wallace there. And again, the two Hendrick teammates battling it out for the third position. Byron versus Elliott. Elliott side drafting his teammate. Again, these drivers are going nuts here for every single position on this racetrack. Again, Hamlin, Briscoe, those two have been able to break away and are solidly 1 and 2. Then you got the two Hendrick cars battling out for 3rd and 4th. Christopher Bell got stuck behind them and is now in a solid 5th place here, as Bubba Wallace is trying to run up on him as Bubba just passed his teammate Tyler Reddick. So Bubba's driving like a guy who has something to prove here, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he's got. But here we go. Denny Hamlin closing back up on the back bumper of Briscoe. Byron looking to the bottom of his teammate Elliott. Don't think either one of them are really close enough to make a move yet, but don't underestimate these guys. That is one of the biggest mistakes in mile and a half racing with this car specifically, is if you leave that door open, these drivers are not afraid to shove it down to the bottom and potentially use you up a little bit to try and take advantage. So again, you got the two Toyota teammates out in front of the field. First non-playoff driver is still hanging on, is Reddick, as Bubba Wallace appears to have dropped back to the 8th position here. But yeah, Tyler Reddick, the top non-playoff driver. Joey Logano lurking in the 9th position, not hanging back too far. Again, he knows the mission. It is earn as many playoff points as possible in this round, and most importantly, you want to try and earn yourself that golden ticket by winning the race if you can. One other thing I want to follow up on, Shane Van Gisbergen qualified 13th on the oval. He's dropped back 4 spots on the initial start, but still running in 17th is a much improved Shane Van Gisbergen, especially for a mile-and-a-half track. A track type that outside of his one Xfinity season last year, he really had never seen a track like that in racing before. So, hey Wayne, how's it going? All right, so again, we are locking in here. Again, we got Yeah, Denny Hamlin trying to see if he can run up on his teammate, but his teammate Chase Briscoe seems to be actually expanding the gap, not dropping it. So a little bit of an interesting thing to keep an eye on here. Chase Briscoe out in front of the field, Hamlin to second. Again, Bell dropped back 2 spots and has not been able to pick back off. Hasn't even really been able to make an attempt at Byron or Elliott yet. Now, granted, he hasn't really been in a position where he's been pressured to do so. He's got a full second behind him to fellow Toyota driver Tyler Reddick. Joey Logano making a pass on Bubba Wallace for the 8th position. Good job to Joey Logano on going for that pass. Looks like he might be about to clear it. A good safe race today. So far, so good. We're 11 laps in, no crashes yet. 70 laps to go in stage number 1. Stages are broken down. It's going to be 80 laps in stage 1, 85 in stage 2, and then the remaining, however many are left, I think it's like 102 in the final segment. So we're all set up here. We're ready to go. And I say at the first commercial break, I am going to need to grab some water because I am quickly dehydrating myself with all the talking. But yeah, we're locking in here. 69 laps to go at in stage number 1 at Vegas. Again, Briscoe, I did not expect Briscoe necessarily to have that mile-and-a-half speed. I kind of had him pegged as more of the, had him pegged as maybe being able to at least maintain some points positioning here, and then trying to survive Talladega next week to give himself a shot at Martinsville. Because I think you give Briscoe a shot at Martinsville, I think he'll be able to points race his way there. Now, obviously, you'd rather see him just drive up there and win the race, but if he's in a position to make it in, say, second or third and he doesn't need to win, I sincerely hope that he doesn't overextend himself. Noah Gregson's up 9 spots from the start of the race. 1 second. I mean, he's not a playoff driver. He's not a name we've really talked about this year, but Noah Gragson up 9 spots trying to prove he belongs. Because that was actually a conversation that my dad and I were having the other day. We were talking about the potential lawsuit, and if those charters do get redistributed to other teams, does Gragson still find a seat? And, well, I'm starting to think that maybe Gregson's starting to make a case that, hey, I am better than some of these free agent names you might be naming, like a Daniel Suarez, like a Suarez being the most notable, but some of these Xfinity guys, like Connor Zilic already has his ride listed, but some of these other Xfinity guys, like an Austin Hill, a Jesse Love, a Sheldon Creed. Now, again, I'm aware some of those drivers are probably on existing deals. Those are just examples of good drivers in Xfinity that if I was ranking NASCAR, if I was ranking drivers, I might be liable to put them ahead of Noah Gragson based on recent performances, as Gragson has just had a really down year here at Front Row Motorsports. But they're showing the playoff standings right now, and Christopher Bell only a 2-point lead on Larson on the bubble. Elliott only 4 points back, but Joey Logano, he's running inside the top. Yeah, he's running 8th, but unfortunately, I believe the only playoff driver behind him. Yes, the only playoff driver behind him is his teammate Ryan Blaney in 13th. Is the only playoff driver that Logano is not currently outrunning, which means even though he's running inside the top 10, the points as they run are going the wrong direction, as Joey Logano in that number 22 car currently not actually gaining any points on that cut line, which is going to be mission number 1 here on the day for these drivers. This is going to be earn points in the stages. Try and, if you're above that cut line, try and build some buffer. And if you're below that cut line, try and mitigate the losses here early in this one. And again, with the fact that we have 7 of the front 8 drivers in this race are all playoff drivers, that is going to make every single one of these positions that much more important as we get through, as we go later and later into this stage. Now, they are not able to make it the full distance of the stage on a singular tank of fuel, so we will have to keep an eye on that as well, as there will be a required green flag pit stop if the race does indeed go green. Now, if the race does not go green, then it's going to be about when do you make the how do you make the right pit stop. But at the moment, we really haven't even seen anything close to a yellow yet. Although yellows can come out of absolute nowhere, so it is kind of hard to predict. So here we go. Oh, Kyle Larson sliding up behind Tyler Reddick as he was trying to maybe go for a slide job. Didn't have the momentum on that run to try and get in there, so he slides in behind him. But Kyle Larson trying to make some aggressive moves here on Tyler Reddick, who currently holds the 6th position and the only non-playoff driver inside that top 8. So again, we are chilling here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Whew. You know, we're at a side-by-side commercial break. You guys are not missing anything. All right, Buccaneers scoring. Let's go. Let's see where that puts them on the. Because I'm playing against San Fran's defense today, so I just wanted to keep an eye on that. And their defense has gone up in points because why not? All right, well, we're just chilling out here. We got Alex Bowman making a move on Bubba Wallace for the 9th position. Bubba Wallace dropping to 10th here. Alex Bowman going up to the 9th place position. They're coming back from commercial break. We are chilling still. There we go. Again, we got 66 people still hanging out in chat. Thank you guys for everybody's decided that portion of your very valuable Sunday here. Again, you guys have plenty of ways to choose to watch the race. Again, I appreciate you guys spending your time here with us as we are just chilling out, reacting to the race. Yeah, we are just. All right, let's see what ended up happening here. We got. Are they showing this lap 1 pass that Briscoe made? Because Briscoe made an incredible pass on the opening lap or two. Did he just go up the inside, and now he's taking off a bit from Denny Hamlin? Kind of leaving Hamlin a little bit in the dust here. Almost a full 2 seconds back as Hamlin. Hamlin's dropped a full 2 seconds off the lead. Byron and Elliott have slipped another full second behind Hamlin. So that is, as I say again, these the gaps between them are starting to get a little bit bigger here. So maybe Briscoe is just flat out the best mile-and-a-half driver in this field right now. There's still drivers to go, but. All right, so here we go. 57 laps to go here. And again, most of these drivers still yet to make much of a difference here in the running order. Everybody kind of just in lockstep right now as they're just counting laps, trying to mind their time. Tyler Reddick, though, looking like he might be a little antsy here and looking to try and get by Toyota teammate here, Christopher Bell, which obviously Toyota teammates didn't make a big difference last night, so in the Xfinity Series race. I'm not expecting them to play a major role in today's NASCAR Cup Series race, but you always got to keep aware of things because here we go again. Bubba Wallace, he's in 10th place right now. He's starting to look like he might have caught a second win, starting to run down Alex Bowman in the green Ally car, which I got to remind myself the green car is actually Alex Bowman because it definitely does not look like him. We're used to looking for the dark colors, the purple, for the Ally machine, and he is not running the traditional Ally colors tonight. So, all right, there we go. Chase Briscoe's now up to a 3-second lead on Denny Hamlin. Briscoe is just absolutely disappearing here into the front of the field as Tyler Reddick making the pass for 5th on Christopher Bell. That's going to put Bell now exactly 1 point ahead. Bell now exactly 1 point behind Kyle Larson. As the points are, with the points as they run currently, Larson right up on the back bumper of Christopher Bell, and that would put Bell out by 1 point and put Larson in by 1 point if he stays in right about that position to the end of this 3-race round. Obviously, still a long ways to go, but keeping an eye on things, and here we go. William Byron starting to gain some speed, and suddenly, we are just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. 52 laps to go. Again, Briscoe as being shown as the leader definitely makes this a lot more interesting. Again, the fact that we have so many playoff drivers in the front of the field makes me very much think that we're going to see a playoff driver walked out with the trophy here. So, man, again, I am sorry that I am just a little bit tired of it. Got up way too early this morning, but we are here ready for this one. So they might be sending us to a commercial break here shortly. Again, pit stops are coming up. 51 laps to go. Okay, yeah, we're going to a commercial break. I'm going to say, we just went and added one in as well, so I'm going to go ahead and use this as a chance to go grab some water. And, yeah, we will be right back, guys. Don't you worry. All right, and we are back. They are back from commercial break, and we got pit stops ongoing here as we are going here. A lot of pit stops have already occurred. Don't know exactly which ones. But we got Briscoe on pit road. All 8 playoff drivers appear to have already made their green flag pit stops here. We will get you guys updated on exactly where they are all running. But Briscoe looks to be the last one to make his pit stop. 4 tires and fuel for the number 19 car. Cody Ware, Busher, Gregson, Barry, Herbst, and Kyle Busch all on pit road currently. And your leaders who have yet to pit, you've got guys like Hocevar, Allmendinger, McDowell, Nemechek, Keselowski, Custer, Haley, Gilliland, and J.J. Yaley. It looks like William Byron may cycle out to the lead of this thing, as I believe he was one of the earlier drivers to pit road. Byron, Reddick, Larson, the first 3 to pit road, or 3 of the earlier guys to pit road, and some faster stops, ending up a little bit ahead of Briscoe here. There we go. Byron, Reddick, and Larson, the top 3. We've got a non-playoff driver inside the top 3 drivers as they are, top 3 once they cycle everything around. Gotta specify that because I know somebody's gonna come in here with the well, actually. But yeah, all right. Again, right now we got McDowell out front is actually pretty cool to see. Ah, man. All right. So again, Byron out in front of the field of drivers who have already made their pit stop here. Him and Larson maybe hinting at the fact that those Hendrick pit crews might be some of the faster cars and might be ones to keep an eye on as we get later and later into this one. And looking at guys like Briscoe, slipped quite a bit. No, slipped 3 spots based on the pitting or on the pit order there. Reddick looks to have been the first one to jump on pit road. Then everybody else was pretty much immediately after that. Larson immediately. Then you had Byron 1 lap after Larson. Briscoe was 1 lap after Byron. So again, pretty quickly a rush. Everybody pit within the same 3-lap window of Tyler Reddick starting and Briscoe ending the green flag pit cycle. So I'm going to say everybody getting their pit stops done there nice and early in the window. Who are my championship 4 picks? Great question. I think you'd be careless not to put Denny Hamlin in the conversation at this point. He's earned the most points throughout the time. He was close to winning the last mile and a half at Kansas. So I'm gonna say I will lock in Hamlin. Honestly, I think the way Briscoe's run today, Briscoe looks today, plus his prevalence at short tracks, I think Briscoe will be a driver who can point their way in as long as he can avoid trouble at Talladega. I think Byron probably has the consistency to get there, assuming we don't have a playoff winner at 2 of the 3. If we don't have a playoff winner out in the that wins, say, Dega, 2 different playoff winners win it, I think Byron should be able to find a way to point through. And honestly, I mean, he was my championship pick to start the year. I find it hard not to put all 3 Gibbs cars in there. I have a feeling that someone, maybe Logano, maybe an Elliott, is going to win a spot in there. But I think the 3 Gibbs cars are going to be hard to top, especially if they're quick today like they have been up to this point. And then you got the fact that the Gibbs cars have also been the best at some of the best cars at Martinsville. Although, wait, I just realized I didn't put Blaney in there. Blaney's really good at both Dega and okay, so maybe we take out which Gibbs driver do we drop? Honestly, I'm basically between Briscoe and Bell for who drops out because I think Blaney is in. Because I completely kind of just glanced over Blaney's name on the list. So let's go ahead and say Hamlin, Blaney, Byron, and I'm gonna say Bell. I think we see Byron and Bell both make it in there. And come on, Michael McDowell pit penalty here. Oh no, 71 to McDowell looked very close. Have to have all 4 tires. Oh, a commitment box violation for Michael McDowell. No. Yep, commitment box violation, clear as day. Michael McDowell does not get all 4 tires below the orange box, and he is going to be coming through for a pass-through penalty. That sucks. Man, that is going to kill the day for Michael McDowell nice and early, so at least I don't have to worry about my guy. But, yeah, so there we go. Those are going to be my championship picks. Again, I think you are splitting hairs to not put all 3 Gibbs cars in there. But I am hard-pressed to say that there will be a I think Blaney will get there, and I think Byron has the consistency to get there. Although, maybe the thing I mentioned, maybe Blaney wins Talladega, Bell wins Martinsville, and then you have a... yeah, I know. Yeah, a commitment box violation. I just mentioned that, and yeah, it's clear as day in the rule book, and clear as day on the replay. Yeah, he missed it. It's just a unfortunate situation. But yeah, I mean, maybe you see Byron miss out because you see, let's say, Bell or Briscoe wins Martinsville. Blaney maybe sneaks it out at Talladega, which again, Talladega is really hard to predict, but I could see that being a thing. Just something to keep an eye on. So there we go. And oh, wow. Chase Briscoe on the season ranks dead last amongst the playoff drivers in passing, defense, and pit crew. That is a rough set of statistics for Briscoe. Again, Briscoe and Bell currently tied for that final spot in points as they currently run. Byron as the leader would be locked in. Similarly, you would also see Larson making it through. Briscoe and Hamlin would be the other three making it through. But again, it is the slimmest of margins right now. And obviously, with 2 more races after this one, the playoff cut line will continue to shift and move all afternoon long. So we won't harp too much on the current playoff battle, but obviously you got to keep an eye on it because before too long, you could see someone like a Joey Logano in a must-win at Talladega next week. Joey Logano with nothing to lose is a scary guy to see because obviously if he doesn't run well here today, we could see the team put all their efforts into the Martinsville car. Might hamper their efforts at Phoenix, but if they can win their way to Phoenix, all you need is one good race at Phoenix and you can have a championship run, which, again, is some of the downsides to this playoff format, but we're not debating whether we like the format or not. We're just looking at the format as it is, and that is how the champion will be decided this year, like it or not, unfortunately. Again, I've always said I'm more of a proponent for something closer to what the original chase for the Cup was, where you have X amount of drivers. You can keep it at 16 if you want. You could cut it down to the top 10, so it's 10 drivers, 10 races. Also, if you're doing this format, you could even potentially cut it down to 7 races to make the final 7 more important. But having a singular reset, one round at chase, where you have a singular reset with, say, about 7 races to go, and then you have those 10 to 16 drivers race it out for the championship over the course of that 7-race contest. I think that is probably the closest to a even compromise you'll get between the Winston Cup era format people who insist that the only way to crown a champion is through the Winston Cup style, the traditional points format, and to a degree, I can see where they're coming from, but I can also see where the entertainment crowd is coming from, and, well, you don't want the champion completely wrapped up before there. So, yeah, there we go. How it is, you can literally not win a race or stage all season as long as you accumulate enough points. Yeah, I mean, granted, getting through all the rounds without a singular stage win, without a race or stage win, to get through with 0 playoff points would be a remarkable task. And again, as I've said, I'm not the biggest fan of the one race decider. And again, I think that's why I like the kind of hybrid idea where you reset based on regular season performance. With about 7 races to go, and then have a 7-race mini season at the end. Then if you get to Phoenix, I'll know when it's just points. And even if you get lucky, you finish ahead of the other 3. Yep. Yeah, and again, I've said it multiple times. I've never said that this format is perfect by any stretch of the imagination. And I think I've been careful to not even jokingly say that, but I do think there is a balance that can be found that can hopefully make both the Winston Cup era points people happy-ish, although I think you'll never be able to perfectly make everybody happy. But I think some combination of a format like that, I think, would be the closest thing to making the most amount of people happy and keeping this to a fairly legitimate points format. And that's coming from someone who, my favorite driver, Carl Edwards, lost a championship on in a format similar to that when Tony Stewart beat Carl Edwards in 2011 for that tiebreaker championship. But again, Edwards was good all regular season. Tony Stewart had a really rough time, but managed to make it into the chase and then popped off 5 wins. So No, it sounds impossible. I've actually seen it done. What are you talking about? Making it to the to Phoenix without a singular playoff point? Because I mean, yeah, mathematically it's definitely possible, but again, it is a extreme upward battle, especially in the round of 8. I mean, look at Logano right now. I mean, and I say when it comes to Joey Logano right now, he entered this race with not a whole lot of playoff points compared to his other contemporaries. He's only got the one race win, and he is really struggling. He's 29 points out despite a top 10 run today. So, I mean, again, I'm not going to argue for him the entire time, but I mean, Logano, I know a lot of people have said, oh, well, since he made it through that round, the round of 12, he's virtually locked in. But I don't see him. I see him almost in a must win, especially if this race doesn't get significantly better for him. Like if all 8 playoff drivers or 7 of the 8 playoff drivers run inside the top 10 the entire day, I don't really see a path for Logano to make it to the championship 4 without winning one of these 3 races. So there we go. So yeah, and again, so locking back in here, we got Byron out in front. Reddick has made his way to second. Tyler Reddick or Kyle Larson to third. Then we got Chase Elliott fourth. Yeah, Briscoe and the Toyota bunch. Briscoe, Denny, Hamlin, and Bell are 5th, 6th, 7th. So the Toyota guys not falling too far behind here. All right, so there we go. Yep, again, Chase Elliott making some passes here after the green flag pit stop cycle ended. We got 20 laps still to go on the stage, so still plenty of time for some of these drivers to try and find this edge. And again, we saw them pretty much split the stage in half, so potentially we could start to see some drivers maybe having some tire fall off at the end of it. As we get later and later into this stage, I think you're going to see... I think track position will be important because this track has been a tough one to pass at before. I mean, look at some of the antics Joey Logano has done to ultimately win himself races and championships by winning races here. He's been able to aero block. He's been able to block the air at the right time and be able to advance through this round by winning at this track before. So, wouldn't put it past if Byron's able to control the front of the field, being able to just block the air to the checkers. Although, at the moment, he's got a 2-second lead on Reddick, and honestly, Reddick on that first run hasn't looked overly impressive, so we could very well see a close battle going on there. Speaking of close battles, we got a battle for third here. Here comes Chase Elliott to the inside of Kyle Larson looking for spot number 3. There we go. Chase Elliott trying to battle his teammate here. You got the 35 of Riley Herbst challenging Kyle Busch just ahead of this duo. Both of these drivers currently a lap down. Based on where they're running, they might be. Oh no, they're not fighting for the lucky dog because Barry and Cindric have both gone laps down as well. So. Yeah, exactly. Again, there are ways for him to go ahead and do that. Is the race over when they reach 267 laps? Assuming that there's no late caution that would end the race under yellow, because if that happens, they will go to a green-white checker scenario. But assuming that the race runs green to the finish, it will be over at lap 267. If you were able to do that and get that lucky, it'd be 30 points. He'd be 4th in the playoffs. Again, yeah, there's a lot of crazy scenarios that can happen when you start doing math. I mean, there have been a lot of crazy scenarios like that one. I mean, look at the SVG scenario. If SVG had been able to make it out of that first round of the playoffs, he very well, if he could have found some of the oval speed that we've seen out of him, like finishing 10th at Kansas like he did last round, if he'd been able to find that at Gateway or Bristol, he might have very well been able to advance out of that first round and been a serious threat. But Yeah, again, a lot of what if scenarios, and when you add in what if scenario on points plus Talladega next week, which has been a particular thorn in Joey's heel. Again, I question how far he'll get. So 14 laps to go here. Joey Logano is starting to overtake some of these lap cars here. As it looks like they might be getting ready to... Please don't go to a full screen commercial break here. Okay, side by side. Let's go. I will say, I don't think I've seen a full screen commercial break over a green flag running yet, which credit to NBC. I'm really liking the coverage so far today. I feel like they've actually done a very good job at not throwing full screen commercial breaks over green flag action up to this point, which again is something to absolutely commend them for. If we're gonna tear them down when they make mistakes, and trust me, they have made plenty of mistakes, and I have torn them apart for it. We have to give them praise when they do some of these things, like remembering to actually throw using side by side commercials over green flag racing. So. But again, right now, Byron's looking like he might be able to get this one to a 3-second gap between himself and Reddick here in no time. Kyle Larson 5 seconds back of the lead. Again, this one looks like it's probably just going to be the William Byron show to the checkered flag. Ooh, whoa! Really loose moment there out of the number 11 car. Denny Hamlin hanging on to that one there. Hey, Dave, how's it going? A lot of racing left. Yeah, we have about, what is it, 10? We got 10, 11 laps to go in stage number 1. So yeah, you have not missed much. So here we go, and we've been green flag the entire time. We did have one round of green flag pit stops. Briscoe led the initial 35 laps. William Byron has basically led all 30 since then. Maybe a couple laps there led in between by some of the back markers who stayed out a couple of extra laps. So, and I think Hocevar might have led like 5 laps there in the green flag cycle, but for the most part, it's been the Chase Briscoe led for a good portion. Then we had William Byron who took the lead, and we got a caution. Yellow, yellow, yellow. Yellow flag is out. What's going to be the cause here? Let's see. Yellow flag is out. What is going to be the cause of this one? Again, Denny Hamlin's been wrecking loose the last couple laps in a row. Are we about to see another Denny Hamlin incident? Is it going to be something else? Let's see. Right now they're showing Kyle Busch sliding up the hill behind, underneath Denny Hamlin. Oh no, it's a flat tire for Blaney. Ryan Blaney with a flat tire. Oh no. A flat tire for Ryan Blaney, and honestly, it looks like he might have 2 flat tires here as he's rolling to his pit stop, and that is gonna be massive there for Ryan Blaney. Blaney slowly arriving in his pit stall, and there we go. Let's see. The first 6 drivers will all be battling to advance. Yep. I mean, hey, as I mentioned earlier, we had 7 of the front 8 were playoff drivers earlier. Joey Logano has settled back a little bit further. Okay, did Blaney crash? I just saw him coming down off the wall with 2 flat tires. Yeah, no, I say he just had a flat tire that sent him into the fence. So, yeah, flat tire for Ryan Blaney, and yeah, it did lead to some crash damage by hitting the fence. But yeah, no contact from any other driver. He didn't get loose. It was entirely because the tire went flat before he lost it. So. Yeah, again, there's going to be a lot of damage, and Ryan Blaney climbing out of the car. Ryan Blaney's day is done here in Vegas. Ryan Blaney climbing out of the car. That car is toast, and Ryan Blaney now in a major points hole going into this next race, assuming that the rest of the playoff drivers are going to be able to keep their cars together. Of course, as they may be. We could very well see this race devolve into some chaos down the stretch. But 8 laps to go. We could see a very short run to the end of this stage. And I say, as long as they can get all the debris and stuff picked up from the Ryan Blaney crash, we could see a green flag run to this stage that would be a really exciting, really entertaining piece. Oh yeah, Elliott could definitely win stage 1. He's had some speed. He's gonna have a restart where he'll be starting probably in the second row, so you'll only have to get around one. He'll have to make one 3-wide move for the lead, and suddenly he's battling for the lead. So glad I took Blaney out of my lineup. Yep, hey, I told you that this was definitely Blaney's worst track of the 3. Now, maybe I didn't expect this. I was kind of expecting maybe to come in and try and just play conservative to protect points, knowing that he's so good at Dega and Martinsville and can really excel and gain points there. And yeah, there's okay, so that's what caused Denny Hamlin to get loose. The number 8 car kind of chopped the air off the nose of the 11, and that's what caused the 11 to have to check up and got loose there underneath the 20. So that's what happened there. It wasn't necessarily the handling on the 11. It was just other cars around him doing stuff with the air. So again, they're pacing themselves. The light is on pit road, so I'm curious to see, do people come to pit road? I think you're going to see all the playoff drivers stay out. The non-playoff drivers might come. Byron's coming to pit road, and so are many others coming to pit road. A couple of drivers do stay out here, so that's going to be interesting to keep an eye on what's going to happen here. Again, Blaney, Elliott, Larson, all 3 of those Hendrick cars near the 3 playoff Hendrick cars, all on pit road, all getting their service done here. And along with many others. We got Briscoe just finding his pit box here. Logano just finally finding his pit box. We are going to have a run to the checkers. It's going to be super exciting here. All right, and here we go. The race off pit road. It's going to be Byron, Larson, Briscoe, Elliott, Reddick losing 3 spots on pit road. Denny Hamlin gains 1, and Bell is going to lose 1. So definitely a bit of mixing up there on the pit road. All right, so again, we're just chilling out here, though. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. All right, so again, we're at a commercial break, and there's a caution flag out, so you guys are not missing anything. Dang it, the Titans scored. So I got to brace for my defense to have taken a hit. Oh, my defense actually didn't take a hit because we got another sack. There we go. All right, so we're still at 15 points on my defense. So that league is looking like a pretty big coin toss, though, because Emeka Ibuka has been shut down today. Oh, man, this is going to come down to the Buffalo game tomorrow. That's going to be great, which means I'm going to have to actually pay attention during the Buffalo game, when I was hoping to be able to just completely ignore that game. And this league absolutely is going to come down to the Falcons-Buffalo game as well. And I'm going to be in a hole. I need Bijan to come up big in that one. And then the other league I've got pretty much won, so there we go. Alright, so yeah, we're just chilling out here. Gonna wait and see where everybody's lined up when they come back around to the thing. We're gonna have about a 3-lap run to the checkers here. It's gonna be a 3-lap run. 3 laps is gonna decide it here in stage number 1. So welcome on in. We got 60 people hanging out in chat. Thank you guys for everybody that's decided to watch and take some time out of your very busy day to go ahead and spend some time here with us as we are chilling here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Wait, whoa, guys, we're up 4 subscribers. Thank you guys for everybody that's decided to subscribe too, because wow, I just looked at the subscriber count on the stream because I don't have it actually in front of me when I was going to double check some stuff. Yeah, we've gone up 4 subscribers, so thank you guys for everybody that's decided to spend a portion of your day, and for everybody that's new to the channel, thank you for subscribing. We are locking in here, coming back from commercial break. We're going to be ready for an exciting restart. All right, there we go. Hair in my mouth. Alright, but yeah, here we go. They're doing a promotional thing with South Point Casino. Again, if you guys are going to gamble, do it responsibly. Looking at one person in particular, Eli, if you're watching, do it responsibly. Here we go. Lights are off on the pace car. We got Byron and Larson on the front row. Say a pair of chases on the second row. This is going to be fun. Again, we've got Byron and Larson row 1, Briscoe on the inside of row 2, while Chase Elliott will line up on the outside of row 2. Then we got Hamlin and Reddick in row number 3. So those front 3 rows are probably going to be the deciding factor here as we get ready to go racing here to the end of the stage. All right, so there we go. Got that going. All right. Yeah, they all went to pit road. I thought I saw somebody stay out, but no, everybody seems to have come to pit road. So here we go, doubled up behind the pace car, waiting to see that pace car dive for pit road and run for cover because there's going to be a 3-lap dash here to the checkers in stage number 1. Pace car is off. Field in the hands of William Byron, Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, Chase Briscoe. As we go green, 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 green flag is out. We are back to racing. And we are racing here. 3 laps to go. 3 more chances here to try and gain these stage points. These are all important stage points that are going to be very crucial for advancing. Again, guys like Briscoe, absolutely, I think, need to try and gain as many of these as possible. The more you can gain, the more comfortable you can make yourself going into Talladega next week. Oh! Briscoe with a pretty big bump on, pretty big block on his Toyota teammate Hamlin there. Really shoving the momentum, stifling the momentum there of the number 11 car. Meanwhile, the 24 of William Byron is broken away, and a little bit of tire smoke there from the 9. Not sure what exactly caused that. Looked like maybe some contact, maybe with the 11, but again, the 24 car of William Byron has broken away from the field. The battle is for second. Larson versus Briscoe, dueling it out for second place. Here comes Hamlin. Here comes Bubba Wallace on the outside, battling it 3 wide around the outside of Elliott and Hamlin. Hamlin jumps up in front of Bubba, and that is going to go ahead and kind of snuff out that run. 1 lap to go, the final lap of stage 1 here at Vegas. And again, Byron, way out ahead. The battle is for second on back. You've got 2, you've got 3 wide. Anyone want to go 4 wide? Contact the 9 and 20. A little bit of contact there as Bell gets shuffled out of line. Side by side, though, for second. William Byron is going to win the stage. Battling for second, it's going to be Briscoe over... Briscoe over Kyle Larson. There we go. Man, we stumbled there at the finish. Dang it. But yeah, Byron wins the stage. Kyle Larson second. Third, Briscoe. Fourth, Denny Hamlin. Fifth will be Chase Elliott. Bubba Wallace, Bell, Reddick, Ty Gibbs, and Joey Logano, the other drivers, earning points in this one. All 7 remaining playoff drivers in this field did earn points in that stage, so that is going to be very important coming down the end of this one. Yeah, the fact that all 7 drivers not named Ryan Blaney all earned some stage points, that is gonna make this battle for Blaney look a whole lot harder. Again, Blaney is the one guy I said that I think can come back from a rough day here. I just don't know. It just comes down to how rough today is going to be. Obviously, he's already out of the car. Just going to be about how well the other 7 can survive. If the other 7 survive well, then yeah, he's going to be in a really big hole, possibly a must-win. We'll have to see exactly where the chips fall, but it is going to be an interesting one down the stretch here. We got 49 people hanging out in chat. Thank you guys for spending a portion of your very valuable Sunday afternoon here with us as we are getting ready for this one. But yeah, again, we are chilling. Let's check in on the scores of the NFL games. Go ahead and refresh. Raiders are up over the Titans 17-3 right now. Buccaneers and 49ers are locked in a pretty close game, 19-20. Buccaneers do have the lead, but the 49ers have the ball. And hey, the Bengals were actually able to score against the Packers, so it's a 7-10 football game there as they are entering the third quarter. So all those games are past the halfway mark. The Raiders game is in the final 9 minutes of their game. Meanwhile, the other two games are both in their the 49ers game is still in its third quarter. The Packers game just started the fourth quarter there. And, we are getting ready for some more racing. So, we're under a caution flag and a commercial break, so you guys are not missing anything here while we are waiting for the pit stops at the end of the stage. Oh, here we go. Let's see. Oh, boy. The Buccaneers receiver, Emeka Ibuka, doubtful to return with a hamstring injury. Bengals pass rusher Trey Hendrickson ruled out for the game with a back injury. Man, some crucial injuries right there on for the football sphere. So if anyone does care about football, that is a quick score update and some health updates. Hoping for the best for Emeka Ibuka and Hendrickson, but it does not sound great, at least not for fantasy owners of Emeka. Alright, so there we go. And they're showing this replay. And again, all Byron had to do was get clear and keep those two side by side. And again, just contact there from the 11 into the 9 was what caused that tire smoke that we saw on the initial restart. Denny Hamlin just shoving his way through, and again, the fact that the 19 and the 5 ended up deadlocked in a battle with each other is what allowed William Byron to have a fairly uncontested battle to the front of the field for that stage win. Some good stage points for William Byron, who, again, as I said, if we don't have a whole lot of winners in this round, like if we have non-playoff drivers winning, say 2 of these 3 races, I could see Byron making it through fairly easily. But if we have three different playoff winners, that only leaves 1 spot on points, and I'm not sure Byron can rest easy thinking he's going to just earn the flat-out most amount of points. Close to it, sure. Not going to earn them all, though. Alright, so there we go. Again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Yep, there we go. They just officially swapped Mbuka's status to questionable, which tells me he probably will not return. Alright, and there we go. We're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. 44 laps to go, or 44 people hanging out in chat. We got about 81 laps to go right now on the stage as they are just pacing through the first few laps of stage number 2. Alright, there we go. I'm just going to go ahead and close out of Discord for right now so that the pop-ups are not blocking part of my screen. That way I don't have any impediment when it comes to trying to click on stuff. But again, we are just chilling out here. Again, let me know who your guys' championship 4 picks are. I gave you guys mine earlier. I think I'm, especially after the crash, I think I'm going to just go ahead and I'm going to say Blaney misses out, even though I don't really believe that. And I'll say Byron and the 3 Gibbs cars. Again, I think it would be weird to see Penske miss it entirely, but if Blaney has a crash at Dega next week, I think you could reasonably put Blaney in a must-win at Martinsville, and I don't know if he's good at Martinsville, but I don't know if he's flat out the best to the point where I would trust him in a must-win race. So there we go. Let's see. Do we have a points as we run that we can look at here? Let's see. No, we do not have points as they run because, of course, why would we? Oh, wait, nope, we do have them. There we go. Points as they run. So, again, right now it would be Ryan Blaney minus 34 and Joey Logano minus 32 at the bottom of the board. So, again, if they don't have a good finish here, I could see a reasonable position where Joey Logano and Ryan Blaney could both very well be on their way home at the end of the round of 8. Again, right now it's Kyle Larson and William Byron who are showing out and above here. And again, I'm not ruling out that Kyle Larson could go ahead and win this one, but I do think that this is his best shot to try and win a race to get in, because his luck at Talladega, although better in recent races, his super speedway numbers have not been good enough for me to bank on when it comes to don't crash. And when it comes to the guys behind him, like Hamlin, Briscoe, and Bell, I think those guys each have a survival factor at Talladega that can probably outduel Kyle Larson. And then when it comes to Martinsville, I think all three of those drivers are better Martinsville drivers than Kyle Larson at this moment. So here we go. Re-racked, ready to go back to racing. None of these guys came to pit road, as they all just were on pit road about 5 laps ago. So there we go. And yeah, there is the playoff cut line again. A 3-point gap between Briscoe and Bell for the final playoff spot as of right now. Again, Larson, Hamlin, both double-digit points above, but one bad crash here or at Vegas in a few weeks, or at Talladega in a week, could be a very big determining factor. And again, when you're racing at Dega, you almost have to assume you're going to have a bad race at Martinsville, because at least if you're thinking you're going to point your way in. Because points can sweat you, because you'll need to be very good on. You'll need to be far away, and I don't know if it's even mathematically possible for someone to lock themselves in on points. With 2 races to go. There we go. Pace car's off. Green flag's out. We are back to racing. Because yeah, I mean, you can have a good points day, but I don't know if you can have that insane of a points day. And oh! William Byron all the way down almost to the grass as he goes way low, trying to block Chase Briscoe there. Not sure what he was doing quite that low here. Coming off the corner, Kyle Larson should have the edge on momentum. And here comes Chase Briscoe looking up the inside, trying to take it 3 wide up for the lead. Not going to get there, as Kyle Larson is going to clear for the lead. But he is going to pass William Byron, and that's going to start to shuffle William Byron further down. And as we start to see this one, again, they all stay above the line until the thing. And yeah, again, Byron gets kind of loose on the nose of the 19 car, nearly losing it. Manages to make a pretty impressive save on the replay. But yeah, there we go. So again, right now, Byron would be plus 20 points above the cut line. Hamlin plus 25. So again, with Kyle Larson winning, again, it's interesting to see how these points move, but yeah, again, right now, the biggest thing is going to be the Christopher Bell versus Chase Briscoe points battle, which, again, Bell back in 10th is going to have to try and make some aggressive moves to try and get back to the front to minimize the damage. But yeah, there we go. Again, right now we got Briscoe breathing down the neck of Kyle Larson for that race lead. If Briscoe can take that one, that'll be a massive, that'll be one that we'll have to keep an eye on, because that'll move Briscoe from 9 points above to locked in, theoretically, based on the battle for the lead. And I'm kind of curious to see where that would put Larson against some of these guys like Byron and Hamlin. And I'm saying, Elliott and Bell actually fighting it out for points as well, as those two are pretty close. And oh, we got 3 and 4 wide further back as Alex Bowman and the 17 of Busch are getting a little bit tangled up there with some of the other cars. I didn't get a chance to see all the numbers involved, but yeah, now we got Bowman back in another side-by-side here. He's got Ross Chastain and Austin Dillon to his inside. So again, a lot of movement here amongst these mid-pack cars in the mid-teens, in the late teens to 20s. A lot of movement happening. Hopefully you guys are excited about this. And again, Bowman on the top side trying to make it work. Meanwhile, everybody behind is just tossing and turning their cars here at every given point. And again, we got drivers moving up and down the track here. Here comes Briscoe looking to try and make another pass on Byron after Byron must have made a pass on Briscoe the last lap to try and take the lead or take second place away from Briscoe. Briscoe not able to cross him back over, and Byron is going to settle into the second position, and now he's going to try and go on offense, see if he can take this one from Larson. Hey, if Byron just wins this race, then you can forget about the consistency element, and he can just go out there and win this one. So there we go. Again, we are chilling. But again, Larson out in front of the field. Byron to second. Third is going to be Briscoe. Fourth, Hamlin trying to make a move on Briscoe for third, and he's going to get it at the line, I think. No, they're saying no. Hamlin did not have it at the line. It certainly looks closer than they're saying. But yeah, there we go. Again, we're just chilling out. Man, it's been a long day. It has been a long day. Alright, there we go. Again, Chase Briscoe versus Elliott now getting very close to that cut line. Similarly, Christopher Bell right in and around that cut line. A lot of question marks to be answered here as we're getting closer and closer to the end of this race. Alright, so here we go. Again, Elliott versus Briscoe. That's the battle for the cut line. Again, right now, Elliott does not have enough spots ahead of him to pass Briscoe in points. So, Elliott's going to need either Briscoe to fall back, or he's going to need to probably win. Well, he'll probably need to be winning this race if he wants to exit this race with a positive cut line differential. Now, going into Talladega, the only way to breathe easy is to have your ticket punched to the next round by having won this race. And again, playoff drivers all up and down the grid. The front five, all five are playoff drivers. And all 7 remaining playoff drivers in the field are all inside the top 11 as Christopher Bell just lost out on 10th to Shane Van Gisbergen. And SVG up into the top 10 on a 1.5 mile oval. We're going to have to worry about SVG next year on the ovals. So in addition to being one of the kings of the road course, he is also starting to look like a potential top 10 threat on 1.5 mile ovals. Is there anything this guy can't do? Anyone from New Zealand? Is there anything that New Zealanders can't do? Because if so, I think we need to assign that as a challenge to SVG. Like, is there some sort of problem with like trying to solve a Rubik's Cube while driving? Because that might be a little bit tough. But good job on Colts win. Yeah, hey, I was really excited to see the Colts get the win. Glad to see Jonathan Taylor kind of step it up there at the end of that game, being able to help put us ahead of the Cardinals. We escape another close game, and we are now 5-1, and we're still the 1 seed in the AFC. Potentially in position for a bye week, although again, it's still a long ways off from playoff time. But never too early to brag about your team. Again, Larson, though, out in front of the field, we've gone 20 laps here. I would expect us to go another about 20 to 25 laps, and then I would expect us to see another wave of pit stops like what we saw earlier when we saw everybody come down pit road in the span of about a 3-lap span. I would expect a very similar bull rush here down the stretch. So there we go. Alright, so we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Alright, 20 laps complete here in the stage. Again, Kyle Larson doing his best to try and just run away from this one, but Byron's keeping him close enough to keep him from being able to try and experiment too much. Again, only 0.3 of a second between Larson and Byron. That is not enough gap to really experiment too much with your lines. And as they start to catch lap traffic, that's going to be interesting. But again, Christopher Bell, the fact that he lost that top 10 track position, he's going to have to try and find a way to get that back before the end of the stage because I think he needs to earn these stage points. I mean, that's a big part of why I thought he was a good enough driver to get through is I think he's arguably, I think he could easily be a top. I expected him to be top 10 at this race, possibly survive Dago with a top 10 to 15 type run, and then top 5 at Martinsville. That was kind of my 3 expectations for him coming into these 3 tracks. But again, if he struggles here, which he is currently in 11th, decidedly in 11th place, as he is not relatively close. He's a little bit. He's almost a half second behind SVG for that 10th position. It's going to take a little bit of time for him to try and march his way back up there, especially where it does not seem like his car is very good in dirty air whatsoever. So it will have to be a wait and see type game here as we get further and further down this one. Hopefully you guys are enjoying these streams as well because I've been really enjoying doing them with you guys too. So hopefully we'll be cooking here, but alright, we're just chilling out here. Say Byron has Briscoe all over the back bumper of him. That's going to allow Kyle Larson to potentially escape a little bit here. Again, you've got Briscoe looking all over the back bumper of the 24. The 24. All right, so the 24 and the 19. '24 and the 19, battling it out for second here. Again, Byron holding the position, but Briscoe's right there, keeping him honest and trying to force potentially him into a mistake here, which would be a big thing if it happens. Because again, Byron so far this year has not made many mistakes. In fact, how many DNFs does Byron even have? Let me look that up because I don't know the number off the top of my head. How many DNFs does Byron have? 3. He has 3 DNFs this year. So let's see. What kinds of tracks were they at? Okay, possibly Dover, a 31st place finish. That could have been the DNF. Chicago, definitely, and probably Atlanta. So those are probably his 3 DNFs right there. So 3 of them came within a span of literally a month. So 1 month in the summer, he had 3 DNFs. He has had no DNF before or after that, which is just an insane statistic there for him. So there we go. Sorry if the mic got a little loud there. I was trying to lean in to see the stats on my phone because, of course, those kinds of stats can't be easily accessible on the computer. All right, so again, Larson now has extended his lead to about a 1.5 second lead. He can now start to probably experiment around with different lines, figure out where the speed is. And this is what Kyle Larson is so freaking good at, is finding speed in a racetrack when he's given the ability to venture up and venture down the board. So a great job for Kyle Larson to be able to get into this position. And again, thank you to Briscoe. He's got a pretty big thank you to Briscoe for holding Byron back just enough. Again, all the drivers, once you've gotten clear, we've seen a lot of them get clear. They're talking with William Byron right now. And again, those other 2 tracks have got to be something you got to look forward on, but there's nothing there's no situation you want to be in when it comes to a flat tire at a 1.5 mile oval in the round of 8. You don't want to see that. Again, especially with Talladega next week, again, you have to almost assume you're going to have a bad race at Talladega, which means 2 bad races. I don't know if that's overcomable for Blaney without a win at Martinsville. And again, he's a driver I could see being capable of winning Martinsville. It's not going to be anywhere near as easy as just pointing your way there with 3 consistent finishes, which I feel like prior to this crash, Blaney was probably in a position to be able to at least try and get the consistency to get there. But again, we're going to have to wait and see what these pit stops look like in about 10 laps time. We got about 10 laps before we start seeing drivers peel into pit road. Again, Byron's starting to fall behind. He's dropped a full 2 seconds back here. Briscoe, another full second off of the back bumper of Byron. Then you got Reddick, who's not all that far behind Briscoe here. Starting to apply some pressure, but there we go. Brother, is there any chance for Bell? Yeah, I mean, the problem for Bell right now is he's 9 points out, and he's currently stuck in 11th place. Now, if he can gain some spots on pit road through a good pit stop here, cycle himself back up into the top 10, maybe even into the conversation of a top 5 for this stage, I think he's right back in the mix for the cut line battle. And obviously, you got 2 more races after this, one of which being Martinsville, a track Bell very much runs pretty well at. So I think Bell still has some pretty good chances. It's just a matter of he's got to make the right adjustments at this green flag pit stop when it comes in about 5 to 7 laps. Again, 5 to 7 laps before the pit window likely opens here for the majority of cars. Although once one of these cars comes, as we saw last time, they were all on pit road within a 3-lap span of each other. So expect once that first car comes, it's going to be like opening the floodgates here. All right, so there we go. Vegas being one of Larson's best tracks in terms of laps led it at, but he actually hasn't run all that well here in the next gen car. So the fact that he's gotten up to the front and is leading is, again, one of those things, aerodynamics here. Lap 180 to 200 green flag pit cycle. No, I think you're going to see... I mean, there might be a green flag pit cycle at that point, but you're going to see a green flag pit cycle a lot sooner than that. Christopher Bell on pit road right now. Long green flag run definitely could be a chance for Bell. Again, all he needs to do is adjust his car. I don't remember exactly what happened to him, that cost him the track position to begin with, but there we go. 4 tires and fuel for Bell. Busher, Dillon, Gibbs, Van Gisbergen, all on pit road. A 9.6 second pit stop for Bell. That's a really good pit stop there. Again, you're going to see all the other playoff drivers jumping to pit road here. Priest, Austin Dillon, the first 2 to jump to pit road. Not playoff drivers, but on pit road all the same. Ty Dillon got his 4 tires done. Gibbs is done. Briscoe and Hamlin stayed on track, so maybe not. Maybe the pit window isn't going to... Maybe Bell isn't going to open up the floodgates. If I'm a driver on this track, I'm pitting as soon as I saw Bell open the floodgate here. But, again, as of right now, I've not seen another playoff driver jump to pit road. We've got Bowman, Cindric, Busch, Nemechek, Chastain coming to pit road. So, a lot of names I recognize, but none of them active playoff drivers. Here we go, Reddick and Hamlin. Reddick, Hamlin, Chase Elliott coming down pit road. Those are your first few playoff drivers. Reddick no longer a playoff driver, but the other 2, Hamlin and Chase Elliott, definitely are still playoff drivers. Yeah, so they're going to be the next 2 to hit pit road. About 2 to 3 laps after Briscoe, or not after Briscoe, after Bell did his. So there we go. 4 tires and fuel for all of them. Allmendinger also hitting pit road at this time. So again, everybody doing 4 tires, fuel, going to get themselves set up for the end of this second stage. Again, Bell was a little bit earlier in the window than we may have expected initially, but here we go. Byron on pit road, Briscoe, Logano. Again, trying to draw the rest of them to pit road. I believe the only playoff driver still on track is Kyle Larson. So Kyle Larson, the last playoff driver not to pit and to try and stay out here. I'm kind of curious to see what the strategy ends up being. Larson jumps to pit road, I was going to say. Does Larson decide to try and run it as deep as humanly possible and hope for a caution? Because that would be a risky strategy, but no. Especially considering he's got a fast enough car. I think if you just do what the leaders do, You were the one at the front to begin with, so you should be in a good spot. So here we go. What's the advantage to Bell because of this pit stop? We'll have to wait and see when they rejoin the field. But typically, if you're on pit road first, you're able to start taking advantage of those fresher tires quicker. So you'll see Bell jump up a few spots. Again, we'll have to wait and see when they finish cycling this one around. He isn't going to be like leading the race or anything. And Chase Elliott back on pit road. Chase Elliott coming down for a pass-through penalty, possibly speeding here. No, uncontrolled tire penalty for Chase Elliott. That is going to kill Chase Elliott. An uncontrolled tire by the pit crew. And that there may have opened a door here for Bell. Or at least opened it wider. Because, yeah, uncontrolled tire there. I didn't see an uncontrolled tire. All right. Maybe I just didn't see it, but yeah, I didn't see an uncontrolled tire on that pit stop. Again, maybe I just missed it on the replay there, but weird. Again, Larson, Reddick, Byron still holding down those top three spots, but Christopher Bell is right back up with his teammates Briscoe and Gibbs, battling out for these what would be spots, I believe, about 7 and 8 based on where they were running. Joey Logano also getting back up near the group of playoff drivers, so we'll have to wait and see. Again, once Bubba Wallace, Hocevar, and the others come to pit road, where everybody cycles out, but Christopher Bell is going to be in this mix. And that was the goal of pitting earlier, being able to pass about 4 or 5 cars just purely by getting fresh tires on there earlier. Again, now at the end of the stage, you're going to have to take a little bit better care of those tires as they will be a few laps older than everybody else's. But I expect that if you're pitting early, you know to take care of some of those tires a little bit earlier in the run, but you also want to take advantage. So there we go. And yep, they just officially ruled out Emeka Ibuka for the rest of the game, which means that's going to suck for fantasy football. Here comes Bubba Wallace to pit road. Hocevar's already on pit road. That leaves just Cole Custer as the Lone Ranger out in front of the field. Again, a lot of these drivers leading a couple laps here out at the front of the field, just wanting to get a taste of what it's like. All right, so there we go. Bubba Wallace pulls into the pit stall. That is going to be... Oh, yeah, there we go. Again, 4 tires and fuel there for Bubba Wallace. We're making this one happen. Let's say a good green flag run. Here again, Larson, Reddick, Byron, the top 3. Hamlin, Gibbs, we'll round out your top 5. Then you've got Briscoe and Bell, 6th and 7th. Yep, again, Bell was in 11th place when he made it to the pit stop, so him being back up to 7th, not a major surprise, but hey, a very welcome one at that. Again, being able to get on those fresh tires sooner, he was able to pass guys like SVG, Logano, and others en route to getting back into that group. And the fact that Chase Elliott had that uncontrolled tire, which, okay, on that replay, now I see it. It goes out of the pit box and into the 34th pit box. Crew chief Alan Gustafson down there, pumping up his crew guy, telling him, "Hey, it's a simple mistake, and we're gonna come back from this one." I like the confidence. And too fast entering pit road, Bubba Wallace. Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, Bell definitely has a chance to win. Regardless, we still have over 100 laps to go, so we are by no means to the end of this one yet. But it definitely helps the fact that Bell was able to get back towards this front, that he's going to be able to earn some more stage points to try and help cushion himself against a potential bad race at Talladega next week, which, again, we've talked a lot about it already, but Talladega looming next week, that is going to be a monster. And Christopher Bell, as he currently runs, 3 points above Briscoe for that final playoff spot. Again, right now, Byron and Larson hold up 2 of the spots. Hamlin holds up a 3rd one by 20 points. And then it's Bell and Briscoe right there. Elliott currently sits 36 points out, even worse than Ryan Blaney at the moment. And again, Blaney wrecked out of this race early. Is going to be looking a little rough if he is not able to get this, get a bunch of points here. Here comes Bubba Wallace down to go and serve his pit road penalty. So Bubba Wallace getting his serving his pit road penalty here. Again, it's going to be an interesting one as they are rounding 3 and 4. Looks like they're going to be sending us to a commercial break, and it's side by side. So once again, still no commercials over Green Flag Racing, which again, good on NBC for making that a thing. So again, we got about 35 laps to go in the stage, so still plenty of laps to go. Oh, yeah, there we go. Again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time. But yeah, again, we're just chilling out, waiting to see what this one's going to look like. But again, Larson out in front of the field. Reddick not all that far behind. Reddick and Byron both close enough to challenge for the lead. The question is, will they, and will they put, how much of a challenge will it take to take this one away from Kyle Larson? Reddick all over that rear bumper. I think Reddick knows he's got a chance, and there's a lap car just ahead of Kyle Larson, which is going to slow down the pace of that number 5 car and is going to open up that door to potentially go and make the pass. There we go. All right, so again, right now, Larson, Reddick, Byron, that is a really crucial 1, 2, 3 to keep an eye on here. Again, but yeah, again, we're at a side-by-side commercial. You guys are not missing anything. Again, Bell versus Briscoe. It's going to be a tight battle if those two do end up having to fight it out for a playoff spot. You know, I'd imagine that maybe one of those two could potentially bump their way in, but again, we'll have to wait and see. Can Bell go for an over or undercut? And say, Bell. That's what Bell did when he did that earlier pit stop. That is what's known as the undercut when you try and get to pit road before everybody else. There's not really an option to do that now because they've all made their final pit stop for this stage. They're going to run this stage out now. At the end of this stage, there is an option to. There will be one more green flag pit stop where you can potentially undercut the field. Just going to come down to whether or not you can time it right there. If Bell is lapping the leader by 0.2 seconds per lap, and he closes. Well, again, remember, he's not on fresher rubber now that they've all made pit stops, so there really isn't a option for Bell to get much faster than he currently is. Because again, when everybody cycled through their pit stops, everybody got fresh tires, and because he was actually one of the first ones, he now has ever so slightly older tires than everybody else. That's kind of the double-edged sword of the undercut. The undercut means you get on those fresh tires earlier, but it then means that you're going to have the older tires at the end of the stage. I think Bell is probably going to be stuck in about 7th. He might be able to get 6th from Gibbs if Ty Gibbs' handling starts to go on his car, but I think you're probably going to see Christopher Bell finish right about 7th here. And I think any improvement in the standings for Bell is going to have to come from some well-timed adjustments here during the pit stop at the end of stage 2. Because again, right now, Bell's last lap was a 30.87. Meanwhile, Kyle Larson's was a 30.82. So they're running virtually identical laps all the way up and down the top 10. Christopher Bell might be a 100th faster here or there, but it's not enough to really make up any meaningful difference. So there we go. Again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Just double checking my fantasy rosters. If any of you guys play the NASCAR fantasy game, double check your lineups because you've got until the end of stage 2 to make any adjustments as to putting a guy in your bench. And if you guys haven't played the NASCAR fantasy game before, I recommend you guys check out the, I believe it should be top link in the description. Should take you there. Bit late to get in on it for this year. You still can play in the you can still join in the playoffs, and it'll automatically get you registered for next year. But yeah, again, looking forward to seeing how big we can get this league. Yeah, if we can get this league up to the to one of the most populated leagues, I think that'd be insane. So there we go. Joey Logano will jump up there. Alright, so there we go. Yeah, we're just chilling out here, though. Larson holding on to about a 1 second lead that he's been able to grow over Reddick as he is running a little bit faster than Reddick here at the current moment. But yeah, again, I'm not really seeing, barring a caution, I don't really see a path to seeing a whole lot of passing, at least not amongst the leaders, because they're all pretty well spread out. Like there's a 3 second gap between Denny Hamlin and Chase Briscoe, and then another 2 to 3 seconds between Briscoe and Gibbs, and then another full second between Gibbs and Bell. So there's not a whole lot of avenues for passing inside the top 10, at least not at the current moment. Again, a lap car or a caution flag would absolutely provide a potential for change. Alright, so yeah, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Yeah, we're just double checking our fantasy rosters, and we will be back with the front of the field here shortly. We do have Joey Logano start. Or sorry, not Joey Logano, that's Todd Gilliland. Sorry. Different yellow car with red accents. But yeah, Kyle Larson battling his way through lap traffic, trying to put some lap cars between himself and the cars behind him. Alright, so there we go. 2 more fantasy leagues to double check, and we will be right back, because I'm in a bunch of different fantasy leagues with different friend groups, so. But yeah, the one I'm most focused on, though, is the one that is the top link in the description, the Our Communities Fantasy League. Oop. And one last check. I believe I have this roster already set, but I just need to double check it because it is it's my main one. My main fantasy league. Here we go. Let's see. Okay, I have Elliott in my garage, and I have all 4 of my guys, or all 5 of my guys are top of the board. So yeah, I've got 1, 2, 4, 6, and 8 on current points as they run. So I am not doing too bad. Alright, so there we go. We're just going to lock back in here, get ready for this one. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Alright, so there we go. Again, this playoff bubble is going to continue to be close. We got Bell versus Elliott as they're working their way through lap traffic here. Chase Elliott coming up to try and unlap himself from Kyle Larson. That's going to be an interesting one to watch down the stretch. Again, Larson, theoretically, as a Hendrick driver, you'd want to try and maybe help your teammate get the free pass. Problem is he's also a playoff rival. So if you let him back on the lead lap, you're opening yourself up to potentially losing a playoff spot to him if he's able to go ahead and be the driver that eliminates you from the playoffs. If I'm Kyle Larson and I'm looking at this from a pure competitive standpoint, I'm lapping as many cars as I possibly can, and I do not want to let Chase back on the lead lap. If I'm looking at this from a teammate standpoint, I do want Chase Elliott back on the lead lap, but again, I want to see Larson absolutely dominate this one. I want to see him put up the best laps he can, which at the moment would mean potentially eliminating Chase Elliott from the playoffs, or at the very least keeping him a lap down. Again, being one lap down won't completely eliminate Elliott from the playoffs, but it will hamper his efforts to try and move up the grid. So, I mean, he's going to have to hunt for another caution period, so let's see. Yeah, the top 20 are all still on the lead lap, so we haven't lapped half the field yet, but the battle for 26th is on between Chase Elliott and Todd Gillen for what I believe is currently the free pass position, which, again, is something to just keep an eye on throughout this one. Not sure what they're putting the camera on Brad Keselowski for. He is in the 12th position, so he's running pretty well, but just an attaboy to Brad Keselowski. Okay, yep. Again, making some big changes between qualifying and the race today, and he's gotten that car into a much better position. He did not start very well, but making his way up to the top of the board. Good job, Brad. All right, so there we go. Again, 13 laps to go here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Kyle Larson leads over Reddick, and we're going to why are we going to a commercial break within 10 to 15 laps of a stage ending? Do we not already have enough commercial breaks run? Well, clearly, hopefully, we don't already have enough run. Because if these are entirely extraneous commercial breaks, I will not be exactly thrilled about that. At the stage caution, I'm going to run and grab some more water, but we'll wait until we have a caution flag out to be able to do that. So, again, right now, Kyle Larson continuing to lap cars as best he can. Again, that paint scheme would look so much better at a night race. Honestly, this race would be better as a Saturday night race. Start at I guess you can't start too late because you don't want to start later here. Yeah, better than at 2 to go. Yes, but still, you have over 180 laps to find these ones. Is Larson going to win or what? Well, right now, as of this current moment, Larson has enough lap cars between himself and Reddick that I think Larson should be able to hold on for the stage win. For the race, I don't know. Again, it's been very much track position dependent. When Byron had the lead, he looked untouchable. When Briscoe had the lead early on, he looked untouchable. So, Larson looking untouchable right now, or somewhat untouchable. Great news for this stage because he will probably be able to be untouchable until the caution flag comes out. But it's going to be up to the pit crew and the crew chief to keep him in the front of the field based on strategy. So, again, it's going to be I don't think it's a done deal by any stretch. I think you still have a long ways to go here. Again, under 10 laps to go here. Chase Elliott fighting desperately, tooth and nail, looking to try and get every spot he can because he's trying to get that free pass position. The first car 1 lap down will get 1 lap back. Will get their lap back here. Okay, you bet the house. Well, as I said earlier, do so responsibly, but Larson out in front of this one. He should be able to win this second stage. But yeah, there we go. They've got the Ally mental health paint scheme there, running the green Ally car as a thing to remind you to just take care of your guys' mental health. Again, I even did that the other day. I'm not usually the biggest mental health person around, but even I needed to take an extra day yesterday versus streaming the Xfinity Series race. And hey, every once in a while, we all just kind of need that one day to just kind of unwind from the stress of everything else in life. So, back from commercial break though, and we got again Chase Elliott. Is that Elliott on the back bumper of? Oh wait, no, that's not Larson. Okay, it was a different dark colored car, but this is the battle for the free pass here. And I say Chase Elliott has gotten to the last car that is one lap down. To try and pass for the free pass. Again, Larson looking for other drivers to try and pass. Actually, I think Elliott might be in the free pass position right now. I will have to double check that. Let's go ahead and confirm that real quick. But currently, oh, yep, there we go. Yes, currently Chase Elliott is the free pass car. Michael McDowell is on the lead lap, though, and if Michael McDowell gets lapped here by the 5, that could drastically change this outcome. So here we go. Again, we are just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. But yeah, again, Elliott has got to be sweating bullets here, hoping that Larson doesn't get to the 71 on Michael McDowell, because again, that would just add another car that Chase Elliott's going to have to run down. Again, Larson's looking good here. He's driving away from the field. If he can just keep that track position, I think he's got a good shot to do it. Problem is, again, all 3 drivers who have led at different points in the race, Larson, Byron, and Briscoe, when they had the clean air, they looked untouchable. All 3 of them, which tells me it's more of a clean air thing than it is a their car being quick thing. So I am a little worried about trying to pick a winner quite yet, just because, again, it is going to be heavily track position dependent, I think. I would love to see Bell get up in the mix. He's stayed in the fight all day up to this point, but so far that's about all he's done. He's stayed in the fight. Hasn't been able to really progress much. Currently sitting only 1 point above the cut line as it currently stands if the race were to finish exactly as it is. Again, right now, 3 laps to go in the stage. 3 laps to go in stage number 2. Working their way through this one. Again, showing, highlighting this Ally car for what reason? I mean, I don't know what they're talking about with Bowman. Again, the mental health thing, very important, but and Bowman has moved his way up to the 8th position, so I guess that's why. But here we go. Kyle Larson. He's gotten to the back bumper of Michael McDowell. It is 1 lap to go in the stage, though. All Michael McDowell has to do is hang on for 1 more lap, and he will be able to stay on the lead lap, and Chase Elliott will be the free pass recipient. Now, if Larson can get by either of these 2 cars ahead of him, McDowell or the car ahead of him, that in Riley Herbst, either one of those would be a major gut punch. And here we go to the bottom of the racetrack. Kyle Larson. He's looking to try and see if he can get McDowell. He's not going to get there. Michael McDowell stays on the lead lap, and it will be Chase Elliott winning the free pass. Stage 2 winner, Kyle Larson. Reddick will be 2nd. 3rd, Byron. 4th will be Hamlin. 5th, Briscoe. Rounding out your top 5. Then Christopher Bell, Gibbs, Bowman, Logano, and Hocevar will round out your top 10 finishers. SVG, the first driver missing out on those stage points. So there we go. Caution flag is out. Those are your drivers earning points in the stages. And we're going to go to our caution flag commercial. I'm going to run a quick ad break, and we will be right back. I'm going to go grab some water. Because, again, my voice is on fire. All right, we are back. Just coming back from this one. All right, we're back from our. Let's see, was grabbing some water. William, for somewhat obvious copyright reasons, I can't show the actual race broadcast on the stream, but we're doing radio style. So we've been calling the entire race up to this point. We've got our top 10 leaderboard and lap count on screen. Here we go. Coming back from the commercial break, everybody's coming down pit road, and time to see where some of these drivers stack up again. Chase Elliott will be back on the lead lap, virtue of the free pass, but that means he will have to start tail end of the field, which is going to make for a long run through the field. He is going to need some perfect pit stops here to try and go for this one. But welcome on in. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. All right, so there we go. Everything's all set. All right, there we go. Larson wins the race off pit road. Reddick second. Hamlin jumps up to third. Briscoe to fourth. Byron dropping to fifth. Ty Gibbs jumps up to sixth. Bell dropping a spot to seventh, it looks like. Bowman coming out even, and Shane Van Gisbergen going to take the final spot inside the top 10. And that's the order they're going to come off pit road, and that's the order they're going to restart this race. So I'm excited to see this one. Hopefully you guys are too. Again, we've got ourselves less than 100 laps to go while we are still under a commercial break. Let's go ahead and update you guys on the scores of some of these football games, as some of them have gone final. Raiders beat the Titans 20-10. The Packers put away the Bengals 27-18 for the Green Bay Packers. They managed to avoid losing to Joe Flacco again. Buccaneers putting up a 30-pack on the 49ers, despite no Emeka Ibuka in the second half, which is impressive. And again, 49ers trying to put on a desperation garbage time drive right now, but they're down by 8. They're down by 11 points. So, barring a incredible touchdown and onside kick, they are not going to be winning that game. And we are about an hour away from Sunday Night Football kicking off. I don't know if we'll still be live when Sunday Night Football starts, but that is a quick NFL update for anyone who happens to like the NFL as well, because I know a lot of us are not single sport fans. I'm personally a big Colts fan. I was stoked to see the Colts win earlier today. So, since you guys are choosing to spend a portion of your time here with me rather than watching the football game, I always like to give you guys score updates on some of your teams. That way you guys don't miss anything too important, or if there's a big scoring play you want to go back and see, you can go ahead and find it on Red Zone or other ways to watch. So there we go. Again, we are chilling though. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Everything looks to be all in working order. We are set up and ready for this one. We're just so they're at a full screen commercial break here. We're currently under a caution flag number 3 on the day. So far, we've had one caution for contact, which was Ryan Blaney blowing a tire at the end of nearing the end of stage 1. Then we've had the stage caution for stage 1, the stage caution for stage 2, and that is the entirety of the cautions that we've had tonight. Now, the fact that we've had 3 cautions for 14 laps is a little insane. The fact that we've burned off literally 14 laps of caution, we're going to burn off about 5 laps of caution per caution flag period. I mean, I'd much rather see that number closer to 4. 3 to 4. I feel like anywhere between 3 to 4 laps of running during a caution period is better. Now, obviously, sometimes you have a crazy debris field that you have to pick up, and that is going to take some time. Now, sometimes you can red flag to avoid losing some of that time frame, but Logano's in 9th. Okay. They're literally just coming back from commercial break. My scoreboard should be updating as they roll across the start-finish line. But again, Larson, Reddick, Denny Hamlin, the front 3. Briscoe will be coming out in the 4th position, and that's going to be an interesting one to watch here. See how Briscoe attacks this into this one, especially where I think he's a very good shot at Martinsville, so he might not need to be as aggressive, but You also just want to be aggressive to try and get the points when you can, rather than waiting and relying on history to be good at a previously good track. Because there we go. They're going through tire wear again. The tire wear looking a little bit better on the cars now than it did earlier in the race, as they've now put some extra rubber down. So I see you saying Logano's in ninth. I'm not. Again, they haven't shown the field, so I don't know for sure where Logano's lining up. But it looks like, yeah, I know. Yeah, Elliott free pass. He will have to start tail into the field. Yeah, he'll have to pass even all the lap down cars that he was just fighting with. Yeah, now if we get another caution flag, he'll be able to restart with the leaders, but that's if not a when, because we have not had very much for caution periods today. So again, as of right now, we've actually had a very entertaining race up to this point. It's been very good, very organic. Not a whole lot of needless mess. So that's always nice to see. There we go. All right, so yeah, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time. All right, there we go. All right, so here we go. Getting ready. Pace cars off field in the hands of the 5 car and the 45 as they go green flag is out. We are back to racing. We are green flag running here. So again, Larson's going to lead them down into turn 1, but you've got cars all up and down the field. Bowman being the first one to try and make the move 3 wide to the outside. But yeah, here we go again. Larson and Reddick dueling it out. Or sorry, Larson Hamlin. Hamlin making a big charge up there. Reddick trying to make it 3 wide as well. So there we go. All right, so there we go. It's a Byron making an insane move up the inside as well. 3 wide on the inside of Hamlin and Bell. A lot of guys making sliders 3 wide. Hamlin dropping a couple of spots there after battling with Larson for a minute. All right, so there we go. All right, so here we go again. Larson, Reddick, Bell, the front 3, holding on to this one. And in fact, out of the top 6 drivers, 5 of them are playoff drivers. Logano back in 17th, and Elliott back in 24th are the other 2 playoff drivers that are still in the field. Of course, Blaney already in the garage with an accident earlier in the race. So again, this is going to be a rough day for drivers who are in the playoffs, who are not having a good day, as you have got 5 of the 8 playoff drivers right at the front of the field. All right, so here we go. Yeah, we're just chilling out here. The battle for the lead Reddick looking to the top side, not going to carry enough momentum off the top side. Larson going to be able to block it off here. All right, now we got 3 wide. We got Eric Jones making a 3 wide move on Chase Elliott and Ross Chastain, a couple of the most a couple aggressive drivers there. Jones getting aggressive in the middle of the pack. You got Chase Elliott who's trying to make up for that free pass having to start at the back of the field, and then you've got Ross Chastain. Who do you need to say any more about being aggressive, or do we just need to remember back to 1 week ago? Because Ross Chastain is Mr. Aggression out here. Now here we go. Byron making a move up at the front of the field. Battles at the front and back of the field, up and down the grid. All right, so here we go. Again, Bell and Hamlin also having a bit of a battle there, battling it out for the 4th and 5th positions as well, as we are making our way through this one. So there we go. All right, so here we go. Again, Larson, though, out in front of the field. Byron to 2nd. Reddick to 3rd. So Byron making the pass on Tyler Reddick. Good to see Byron making a pass there. So there we go. Reddick, Hamlin, Bell. 3 Toyotas fighting it out inside the top 5 as well. Briscoe, Gibbs as well, making a 5-pack of Toyotas there. Anywhere from 3rd all the way back to the 7th position with Ty Gibbs. Bowman, Hocevar, and Keselowski rounding out that top 10. There we go. Oh, man. Again, sorry. Just give me a second, guys. We're working our way through this one. Byron goes way high! And say, Byron, a high roller way off the top side. I'm not sure he actually gained all that much time up there, but right against the fence, doesn't touch the fence. Great move by Byron. I'm not sure he gained a whole lot of speed off of it, because I think he had to lift a significant amount to avoid actually colliding with the fence there. But good job by Byron to run that high and not wreck it. And there goes Tyler Reddick trying that high line. A lot of guys experimenting with this top line. I'm curious to see if any of these drivers are going to be able to find an extra 10th or 2 by going that high. Reddick pretty high in 1 and 2. Not quite as high as they were in 3 and 4, but certainly high. And right now they are flying around this racetrack. So there we go. Again, we are just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Again, that bubble battle between the Toyota drivers, it's Bell and it's Briscoe dueling it out for that 5th and final spot right now, as Larson still holds on to that clinched spot if he can just hold on to the lead of this race. Again, there's a guaranteed green flag pit stop guaranteed some point in the period here. But we will be getting on through this one. Alright, so there we go. Yeah, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Again, we're just chilling out, enjoying this race. Hopefully, again, we'll be able to see this one all the way to the checkered flag. Just double checking the condition of my power brick is okay. It's not overheating like it normally does. All right, we're good. Just breathe. We're coming up on, as I say, we're closing in on lap 200, which would mean 67 to go. Again, these laps are taking off pretty quick, and honestly, this entire race, if we go caution-free, these races don't take that long. And that's the weird thing when it comes to NASCAR Cup Series races, is that sometimes you'll have a green flag race that goes green the entire time, and you're out of here in like 2.5, 3 hours most. And then other times you'll have the same length race, you'll have 17 caution periods, and you'll end up being here for 4 hours, which... yeah, that's insane. Let's see. And the Buccaneers game goes final. They're able to hold off the 49ers, by the way. So Buccaneers win their game. We already kind of knew that was probably the outcome that was coming, but we now have it confirmed. All right, so there we go. Again, 78 laps to go. We're working through this one. They're at a side-by-side commercial break. Hamlin and Bell right on top of each other. The front five all under a blanket here. Nose to tail for the front three. A very small breath of air between third and fourth place with Denny Hamlin and Tyler Reddick. But again, that is a small breath of air between them. All five of them essentially under a blanket. Anyone's race here. The question is, can anyone prevail over the dirty air that Kyle Larson, as the race leader, currently holds control of? If not, the question then becomes, at what point, 102 lap run, I think you want to pit somewhere around the middle of it. So around lap 51, 52 in this stage. So I think we're probably about 20 to 25 laps away from that pit window opening. And if I'm someone like a Christopher Bell, a Denny Hamlin, a Briscoe, I'm probably trying to jump on pit road very early, especially Briscoe and Bell, where I feel like both of them have the speed to lead this race in the closing laps if they can get the clean air, and both of them need the points as desperately as possible to try and outpoint each other if they aren't able to get a win. So, again, I think this battle is going to come down to the over and undercuts, assuming that we stay green. And Reddick all the way up at the wall again. Comes off of it a little bit in the middle of 3 and 4, but man, that is incredible. Oh, man. Again, we are just chilling out here. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time. Again, yeah, we have not had a single full-screen commercial break over green flag action all night. And again, credit to NBC for that. I mean, that is something we have been asking for a while. And again, I feel like NBC does not get enough credit for some of the things they do right. For some of the things they do wrong, they get blasted plenty. And as I say, they have definitely not had flawless coverage over the years, but today, I've actually been very happy with the coverage. Again, it's not their fault that Vegas happens to have a whole lot of a dirty air problem. But yeah, there we go. Again, Larson, Byron, Reddick at the front of the field. Again, that front view hasn't changed, although Ty Gibbs actually making a pass on Briscoe, as Briscoe has actually dropped quite a bit. And say, Briscoe dropping a lot of speed here. I don't know what's wrong with Chase Briscoe, but something appears to be wrong with that car, as he has now dropped. He was just in the battle with Hamlin and Bell, 1.5 seconds off the field. He's now 4.5 seconds back of the leader, so he lost 3 seconds in the last minute or two here around this racetrack. Again, I'm going to say, a lot of them are counting down to this pit road. I think Briscoe cannot wait to get on pit road. Again, I think you probably have to get there. But yeah, best average finishes all time at Vegas. Yeah, you've got Larson and Joey for playoff drivers in that mix. Martin Truex Jr., Kyle Busch, and Jeff Burton, the other drivers in that top 5. But Kyle Larson with the best average finish of any driver at Las Vegas in their careers. That is a very impressive stat. I mean, obviously, was one of those tracks he took to very early in his days at Ganassi. This was one of those tracks we were talking about where, could he get his first win before he started establishing the 2 Mile Kyle motto, where he was going and getting those where he was getting those runs inside the at the 2 mile tracks, Michigan and Fontana, otherwise known as Auto Club. But yeah, there we go. Again, Briscoe continuing to drop here. He just lost a spot to Bowman, too. Again, something seriously is wrong with that car. Side-by-side battle. Hamlin getting to the inside of Reddick, battling it out for the third position. So Denny Hamlin and Tyler Reddick are battling it out for this third position here. Denny Hamlin looking to the bottom of the racetrack. Reddick all the way against that fence. The two different philosophies here. Slide job right up in front of Reddick. Reddick tries to cross him over. Reddick to the bottom. Leads at the line. Well, not leads, but leads the two of them. Reddick crosses him over. Gets it at the line. But now, with Denny Hamlin on the top side there, he's going to be able to roll some momentum. Now that side drafting down the back straightaway is going to be crucial here for Tyler Reddick. As we've got 67 laps to go, we are crossing lap 200 off the list. This time by, again, Tyler Reddick on the bottom of the racetrack. Yeah, you've got Denny Hamlin up top. And again, Denny Hamlin now able to clear Tyler Reddick. That is an additional point for Denny Hamlin. He had a points lead coming in, but every point matters when you get down to these final three races before that championship 4 cut, because you very well could have 3 different winners that could make it a battle for that one and only points position. Again, Reddick right up against that outside wall once again. I don't really think it's helping him all that much, and he's getting attacked on the bottom. He's getting eaten alive on the bottom, really, and it's going that far up opens him up for some major slide jobs like what Denny pulled on him and what Bell is probably about to pull on him in 3 and 4 as they go down the back straightaway. Christopher Bell side by side with Reddick. He's going to take the spot down the back straightaway before they even get to the corner. Christopher Bell down the inside looking for the lead here. All right, there we go. Yeah, we are just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Again, Larson, Byron, Hamlin, Bell, Reddick. Again, a lot of shuffling inside this top 10 as of lately. Again, Briscoe continues to drop. He's got a host of R behind him, which will be the next car that passes him. Again, Briscoe cannot wait to get this set of tires off. I guarantee you. But yeah, man. Yeah. Again, we're past that 200 lap mark here. We're getting towards the end of this one. But yeah, there again, we're just chilling out here. Breathe. Man. All right, so there we go. Looks like they're going to commercial break. They're going to go to a full screen commercial break. I'm going to go use the bathroom, and we will be right back here. So, just give me a minute, guys. We'll be right back. we're back. Sorry about that. I was gone a little bit longer than I'd hoped to be. We've got pit stops going on. We got Byron Bell, Larson all on pit road. Looks like Hamlin might be the only playoff driver who has not come to pit road as of now. Oh, man. Yeah, again, Larson on pit road here. I did not see who was the first one on pit road, so we'll have to wait and see where everybody shakes out at the end of this one. Chase Elliott also has not come to pit road as he has worked his way up to 9th place here as of right now in the shuffle. Again, we're going to have to wait and see where that all cycles out. Again, I believe Byron was one of the first guys on pit road. He's coming out as Larson's trying to get back up to speed. It's going to be a contest. Can Larson get up to speed before Byron passes him? Larson merging on the back straightaway. Here comes Byron with a head of steam down the back straightaway. Byron blows past Larson. William Byron to the lead. And Kyle Larson will be saddled in 2nd place for the time being as they navigate their way around another car. I believe that is the 77. Yep, that is the 77 of Hocevar. So there we go. Dillon, Allmendinger, Suarez, Buscher, and Ware on pit road along with SVG right now. There we go. Again, we are just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. So there we go. Again, we're just chilling out here. Catherine Lake also hitting pit road. She's been, for the most part, anonymous all day. That 78 car just does not have the speed in it to compete with the rest of these guys. So again, Byron, Larson, Bell, the front 3. There we go. And Bowman getting his way up into this top 4 mix. There we go. Alex Bowman might be in position to try and... man, could Bowman be the upset of the week? And here comes Denny Hamlin down pit road. Again, Denny Hamlin, he's been on track a little bit longer. He's going to have fresher tires for the end of the race, but he has been getting eaten alive potentially on those old tires, and we'll have to see how it all cycles out at the end of this one. All right, so there we go. Again, Hamlin and Elliott both on pit road. 4 tire stops there. Both of them going to be done in about 9 seconds. Oh, Hamlin a little bit slower on that pit stop. They get out of there about 11, 12 seconds-ish on their pit stop. That's not a very good stop for Hamlin. That's going to really put them behind the 8 ball, and he is going to have to burn rubber here when he rejoins the racetrack. And it looks like he will rejoin in about 8th place, it looks like, is going to be about his running spot. Michael McDowell hits pit road here. He was staying out, hoping for a caution. Same thing that Hocevar and Keselowski are doing. They're just hoping for a caution flag at this point. And again, the way this race is going, I don't know if I expect that to happen. So yeah, there we go. Again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Oh, man. Just chilling. Again, just showing the slow stop here for Denny Hamlin once again. And yeah, just for whatever reason, a little bit sluggish. And yeah, that mistake, that slow pit stop is going to put them behind the 8 ball here. The good thing is Denny Hamlin has points to fall back on. So if he needs to, he should be able to try and build up a points lead here and at Dega. Well, at Dega, if he can avoid the calamity, which again, easier said than done when it comes to avoiding chaos at Talladega, but that is something to keep an eye on. But yeah, again, these pit crews, they're all done unless we get another caution period. Without another caution, the pit crews are done. Yeah, and we have got ourselves a 46-lap sprint race to the checkers here. The 24 of Byron has a 1-second gap between himself and Larson, battling it out for the lead. Bell has moved all the way up to 3rd, and there's about a 1 to 2 second gap between Bell and Bowman for that 3rd and 4th spot. So that's where kind of that first big gap emerges. But yeah, there we go. Alright, so they go to side-by-side commercial break. 44 laps to go. I'm really curious to see how this ends up breaking down here as they're going racing. Again, Byron powering by the 78 on the outside line, curving back up the inside of the next lap car, which was the 41 of Cole Custer. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time. Man, again. Uh, Anyone else having an audio desync? Okay, so okay, yeah, he's talking about the YouTube TV. So give me a second. I'm gonna pause this just to see if there's an audio desync with my. All right, nope, does not sound like I have an audio desync, so I can probably. All right, so there we go. Yeah, we are chilling. There we go. All right, so we got that answered from my buddy. He was asking about YouTube TV and if anyone else's audio was desynced, so we just had to confirm that real quick, and we are going to lock right in here. Again, under 40 laps to go here at Las Vegas. Again, the fastest. Briscoe currently holding the fastest lap award over Larson, Reddick, Bell, Hamlin, the top five. But the weird thing is that the two Toyotas, or the Briscoe and Hamlin on that list, set theirs all the way back at the very start of the race. The other three have set them more recently. So there we go. Let's see. Elliott has cycled out to 17th, Logano in 14th. They're where the other two playoff drivers currently sit. Meanwhile, you've got obviously the 5 playoff drivers we've been talking about most commonly sitting inside the top 10. Briscoe, who fell before that last round of pit stops to the 7th or 8th position, and Denny Hamlin, who had that slow pit stop, which has now left him in the 8th position. So again, right now, with Byron leading, Larson has a major points advantage. Again, the question is if Larson can sustain that through Martinsville, which is not a great track for him, and Talladega, which he has a sketchy history at best. So yeah, there we go. Again, we are just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. All right, so 36 laps to go. We got Byron Larson out in front of the field. Bell is actually dropped to almost 2 full seconds behind this group. So it looks like if we don't have a caution period, this is probably just going to be a Byron versus a Larson duel of the checkers. And again, Larson now having the lead. If he can win this one, I think that's going to be an upset and potentially shake up this playoff field just a little bit, which we'll have to keep an eye on it here. But yeah, again, 35 laps to go. There's plenty of time for a caution to occur here, but as of right now, I'm not seeing a cause for one yet. Yeah, we're just chilling out. Let's see. Oh! Okay. Yep, that was sketchy. That's how William Byron lost the lead. He got really loose on the out of nowhere. He just got really loose there and just completely lost it there. Manages to hang on to it and avoid crashing, but lost the lead of the race, which is now back to Larson. And again, we saw it earlier. Larson probably has a car good enough that if there is no if he has clean air, it's going to be very tough to beat him. Again, Larson Byron. I think we could see 200 cars, 2 Gibbs cars in the playoff in the Final Four. I wouldn't put that past the realm of possibility, especially with how good the Hendrick cars are driven tonight. One of them will probably lock in on the win, and the other one is going to have earned great points and be 20 plus points ahead going into these last 2 races. And if Larson is the one that locks in on the win tonight, then you have Byron, who is really good at Martinsville, especially compared to Larson. So Byron could easily sustain a lead at Martinsville if he can just survive Talladega next week, which again, I have stressed this a number of times. Talladega is the ultimate wild card and is going to be impossible to try and predict exactly where all the drivers land at the end of 500 miles at Dega. And we got a caution flag. Caution flag is out. Oh boy. Oh no, is it William Byron? I say William Byron just dropped on the leaderboard. Yeah, we might have had. Say this one might be William Byron with a tire going down, and massive damage on the front stretch. It's William Byron. William Byron, John Hunter Nemechek, both involved here, and man, William Byron's car is toast. Well, that may have just put a big pressure on Byron the next 2 weeks. Because that consistency I was talking about that was going to get Byron to the next round, that is now in major question marks because one bad race. Ty Dillon also getting a major piece of this one. Probably not going to be able to continue either. But yeah, also just a heads up, I will not be doing the traditional run through the field. I got some other stuff I need to get done, so I will not be able to do my traditional run through the full field that I do. I'll go through the top 10 or so, but I really got to probably be off here a little bit earlier, so. But yeah, there we go. So yeah, there we go. Yeah, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. But yeah, man. Oh, Byron just ran into the back of a slow lap car. Who was the lap car he ran into? Oh, it was just Ty Dillon going insanely slow on the racetrack. And yeah, William Byron just ran right into the back of him. Yeah, that was. I mean, I don't know exactly what happened to Byron here, but yeah, Dillon was just slowing up massively like he was coming to pit road, but he was still really high on the racetrack and it almost missed the commitment. Well, I guess he was right about at the right time to turn off. So I'm thinking Ty Dillon might have been coming to pit road and Byron didn't get the memo and just completely ran right into the back of him. All right, so there we go. Again, 30 laps to go. 30 more times around here. 30 laps to go here. All right, let's see. Here's the 10's radio. Bleep. Bleep happened there. Okay, yeah, I know what happened there. We were coming to. He just didn't get it. So, yep, the team was calling him to pit road, and Byron just didn't get the memo. So, yep, just a miscommunication there on William Byron's part. Byron didn't get the memo that the 10 car was coming to pit road. 10 car slowed up drastically on the bottom line and was right about at the right point to start turning down the track at the exact moment that Byron realized he was too far gone to slow up. So glad to see both the drivers walking away from this one. That was a gnarly crash. Again, these race cars are some of the safest things on planet Earth, but you always want to see these drivers walking away, and hope that they're okay. Again, just a massive miscommunication there. Ty Dillon coming to pit road. William Byron, one of the fastest cars on the racetrack all day long, just miscommunicated and goes car parts going every which way. That is insane. All right, let's see. We're just chilling out here. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time. But yeah, man, that's an early crash. Oh man, screen, so I don't have to look at it, unfortunately. And oh man, again, I'm sorry if I've been a little bit off the second half of this race, guys, but we are. We'll walk back in when we get back from this commercial break, and we will be ready to go here. Yeah, again, Ty Dillon was coming to pit road, and William Byron didn't get the memo. So yeah, there was nothing Byron could have done about that. With the information he had no clue that the 10 car was coming to pit road, and the 10 team obviously thought he was gonna know about that. So there we go. Again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time. All right, so here we go. Coming down pit road. Pit road's open. Everybody's coming because this fresh set of tires cannot get on that car soon enough because all these drivers want this fresh set of tires. Pit road is open. Again, they had a lot of sets of tires as well because this race typically has a lot more cautions than this. So, Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell, Briscoe all putting on a fresh set of tires here. And it's going to be a race off pit road. Larson, really quick, a 9.1 second pit stop. Insane there. We going to see someone try 2 tires? Let's see. Here we go. Here comes Hamlin off. And yes, we are going to see 2 tires. Briscoe, Logano, Keselowski trying 2 tires. Larson will roll off in the 4th position here after losing 3 spots. SVG trying a 2-tire pit stop. That is going to be interesting to see. Man, SVG working on a 2-tire strategy to try and take some track position, take this one into his own hands. That's going to be fun to watch here down the stretch. All right, so they go to a commercial break again. We're going to see them line back up when we get back from this commercial break and ready to go racing, but all right, so there we go again. Chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Alright, so here we go. Getting ready for... Oh, looked like they were getting ready for the choose cone, but then everybody was going to the bottom, so I'm guessing we're doing choose cone next time by. Choose cone next time by. Alright, so there we go. Alright, so now with Briscoe leading, it's Briscoe, Larson, Hamlin, Bell, the four drivers in position to advance. Byron sits 15 points below. So again, Byron's points benefit from being the regular season champion absolutely comes into a major play here. Christopher Bell avoiding the crash by inches. Yeah, so there we go. Again, Briscoe leading the race right now does give him a major points advantage here. Or give a major points advantage because he wouldn't have to worry about being a part of that points battle. If let's say Logano, well, if Logano wins this race, then everything gets turned upside down. If Keselowski, okay, let's just use Keselowski as the neutral. If Keselowski wins this race, you have a very, I think you have a very stable playoffs, obviously, until we go to Talladega next week when things get shaken up. But yeah, so it would be 32 points above for Larson, 25 for Hamlin, roughly. Bell would be 15, and Briscoe would probably be about 17, 18 points above the cut line as well. Alright, so there we go. Alright, let's see. But yeah, obviously that Byron crash is gonna absolutely kill me in points because I definitely had Byron in my lineup, and I had Elliott. So yeah, that one right there, I should have flipped those two, but there was no way to foresee this happening. So it'll be 23 to go when we go green. 23 laps to go. All right, let's lock right in, guys. Let's see what we got. All right, so here we go. Pace cars off, field in the hands of the 19 and 22. Green flags out. And let's see, can Joey Logano do it again? Joey Logano trying everything he can. Oh, we got a spin and crash in the middle of the field. Ty Gibbs goes around. Kyle Larson. Is that Kyle Larson? It's a dark colored car in the middle of the field. Hard to tell. Caution flag flies. Allmendinger was around at one point. Not sure who all was involved in that one. I could tell Ty Gibbs for sure. Allmendinger I could tell for sure. The dark car in the middle of the track, I couldn't tell which driver that was. It was the 88 of SVG. Not Kyle Larson, but SVG trying a two-tire strategy for one of the first times in his career. And not sure what exactly happened there, but and I say it does not go well. So here we go. So the 88 tries to jump to the middle of three wide, stuffing it very tightly. And yeah, just everybody gets loose there and makes contact. And a lot of guys getting incidental contact there. Man, that's a lot of crash. That's a lot of crash damage. Again, honestly, I'm not sure Bowman actually did anything wrong. It was just everybody around him just not able to fit into the gaps they were trying to go for. Alright, so there we go. Again, we are chilling out here. We got 68 people popping on in here for the end of the race. Welcome on in. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Again, massive crash just occurred here. The 45 of Reddick scrapes the fence there as he's trying to get out of the way. Dillon, Zane Smith, and Chastain all got a piece of, got a small piece of SVG as SVG went around right in the middle of the field and nowhere for those drivers to go. Again, just a big case of wrong place, wrong time for a lot of different drivers on a lot of different tire strategies, and again, a massive crash that is going to absolutely re-rack this field once again. And I'm kind of curious to see where everybody kind of shakes out at the end of the caution period, because there goes another one of my drivers as well, so down I go even further. Oh, wait, no, actually, sorry, I only had Byron. I didn't have Gibbs in that one. So there we go. Alright, so there we go. Yeah, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Yeah, we're getting ready for this one, but man, there's a lot of crash damage to clean up. So this is going to take a minute, guys. And again, these crashes just end up extending these races quite a bit. Alright, there we go. Again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Again, we're under a commercial break here for this one. But yeah, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. They're showing some more replays of this Ty Dillon crash. I believe they're talking with him after, with Byron after getting out of the infield care center. But man, yep. Oh no, they're talking with Ty Dillon there, and yeah, again, that was just a miscommunication, complete miscommunication there. Nothing either of those drivers really could have done better. Ty Dillon sent the message off, and it just never reached where it was trying to go. So 20 laps to go here. And we've got ourselves a very reshuffled field. So yeah, there we go. Say, one of the Trackhouse guys just kicked another one while trying to work on the damage sustained in that crash. But again, we're just pacing around here waiting for the double up here. Again, we should hopefully be back racing before we get to 18 to go or so. We should have this thing back going. But it's going to be interesting to see how this one goes here at the down the stretch. All right, so yeah, fourth DNF of the season for William Byron. First one since July, which is incredible. But yeah, again, just nothing you could have done about that. There's no way at 100 miles an hour that you can react in time for that without memo that the guy's slowing down. I mean, there is not time for the brain to comprehend what was happening there. Alright, so there we go. Again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Again, they're talking with Byron out of the infield care center. Nice to see both drivers cleared and released from the infield care center after that gnarly crash. Again, Byron also talking about getting loose a couple laps before, which cost him the lead. But again, they'd been running really well all day, and just one one really bad moment there. Just again a complete communications breakdown. Nothing either driver could have done better there. I don't think. All right, here we go. Again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time. Again, Logano's still in the mix, so could Logano hold on to the? Could Logano hold on to a potential win? I mean, right now he's not the control car, which is the big thing to remember. Again, the lack of a control car can be crucial. The lack of having the control car here, would be a big difference here for these drivers. So we'll have to wait and see if this one ends up being there. But yeah, again, just complete miscommunication. Nothing they could have done about that. Yeah, I had no idea they were going to pit because pit cycles had already happened. Yep. You had no reason to expect a pit stop happening there. So there we go. Yeah, I mean, there was nothing. Again, nothing Byron could have done better there. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see where everybody fully shakes out at the end of this. Let's see. Points as they run. Let's see. Let's see the points as they run. So again, not much has fundamentally changed at this point. I mean, again, Byron's still 16 points down. Elliott's 19 down. Joey's 21 out, with Briscoe currently leading. Larson and Hamlin both 30 above, which does give them a good cushion going into a plate track like Dega. And here we go. Pit road is officially open, and here comes half the field. Here comes the back half the field. Again, Byron's... Honestly, I bet Byron's still trying to process exactly what happened there. Again, glad he's checking a release from the infield care center, but man, that is insane. Alright, so there we go. Dale Jarrett, Burt, and Brad Daugherty on the pit box here, watching this final restart here, or this most recent restart. And yeah, just again, a lot of drivers just not having room to go where they were trying to go. Yeah. As again, not exactly sure exactly who made the first mistake or what exactly could have been done to avoid this. Just a lot of wrong place, wrong time for a lot of drivers. So, once again, we're lining back up here. Briscoe, Logano in first and second. Your next playoff driver is Larson in fourth. Hamlin in sixth, and Bell in seventh are your playoff drivers that do remain. Chase Elliott's also somewhere further back. I believe he got some damage in the later lap melee. So, just gonna have to wait out that one. But there we go. Again, we are chilling. All right, so the NFL night game is getting ready to start here. Stenhouse is knocking on the door of the top 10. Let's go. Kyle Busch up into the top 10. But again, 16 laps to go. We're waiting this one out. It's been we are waited a minute here for this one. We're losing laps quickly here, but should be an exciting run to the checkers when and if it happens. It'll happen at some point because they have endless overtime, unfortunately. So we're unlikely to end under a caution. Unless we keep our cars in check for exactly one lap and then crash. So again, looks like they're showing the replay here of Ty Dillon. Let's see, does Ty Dillon stick his hand out the window? Because that is typically the universal driver sign that, hey, I'm pitting. Yeah, no hand out the window, nothing for Ty Dillon. So there was no physical way for Byron to know without that spotter coming into his ear to inform him, and just never did. So man, that was a brutal crash. You don't see crashes like that every day. So it looks like we're gonna be getting the choose cone this time by, which means we'll be going green 14 to go. 14 to go. Alright, so there we go. 15 laps to go. It'll be 14 to go when they take the green flag. We're a few minutes away from the end of this one. Right now, again, it is Briscoe on the inside, Logano on the outside. Larson is going to be second car outside line. So this is going to be, this is going to be a absolute, this is going to be an absolute bull rush, bull in the china shop type run to the checkers. And I am all here for it because this is going to be insane. Alright, so again, if Logano does win this race, that makes this a lot more interesting for next week because, of course, that takes up one of those 4 playoff spots that would otherwise go to Bell, Briscoe, Larson, and Hamlin. So here we go. Pace car's off. Green, green, green. Green flag's out. We are back to racing. 15 laps to go. 15 more times around. Now 14. 14 to go. So 14 laps to go here. We got side by side for the lead, Logano and Briscoe. And I think most of the playoff field is rooting for Briscoe here because if Briscoe wins, not much changes. If Logano wins this one, everything changes. Well, not necessarily as much for Hamlin and Larson. They'd still probably be okay, but for Briscoe, Byron, Elliott, and whatnot, that all becomes a whole lot harder. Blaney's basically going to be a must-win after this week. With how many points down he is, unless we get another miracle accident that takes out most of these playoff guys near the front. But the way that the playoffs guys have been running up and near the front all day long, you're going to be hard pressed to try and find. You're going to be hard pressed to try and find a whole lot of points to gain back on them. Compared to a day like this. Again, Talladega is the great equalizer, but again, 30 to 34 point cushions, those are very comfortable at Talladega. Now, again, they can go away in a hurry, but those are fairly safe cushions to be sitting on. As Logano drops to the third position, here comes Hamlin, who has finally broken through the mess in the back of the non-playoff cars. Now, playoff cars 1 through 4. You got Briscoe, Larson, Logano, and Hamlin. And here comes Hamlin with a head of steam again. Hamlin on 4 tires, Logano on 2. So Logano does not have the same tire advantage the rest of the field is going to have. Here comes Kyle Busch up into the mix. We got Kyle Busch, Christopher Bell, both on the charge. Talladega next Sunday, a 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time race. So we got a nice, fairly early race next week. Would prefer noon or 1, but hey, I will certainly take what we can get. 10 laps to go, 10 more times around. Again, Briscoe, Larson, Hamlin, and Reddick now up to the top 4. Reddick taking that one away from Joey Logano. A little bit of so again, Larson and Hamlin both on 4 tires, but Briscoe has the lead, the dirty air, and the 2 tires. So we got 9 laps to go. Briscoe's going to have to try and hang on for his life here at the front. Now, again, for Briscoe, Larson winning, not the worst thing in the world. Hamlin winning, not the worst thing in the world. So he doesn't necessarily need to win this. winning it would give him a major advantage at Phoenix in 3 weeks' time. But again, that is 3 weeks away. It is still something to think about, though. Again, having that advantage could be the difference in a championship or no championship this season. So we'll have to wait and see if that ends up being the case here as we're coming down 8 laps to go, 8 more times around. I don't have a phone cord down here, so my phone's going to die at some point, but oh well. Alright, so here we go. We've got 81 people popping in here. We got 7 laps to go, 7 more times around. And again, Briscoe doing everything he can to hold off the hard-charging Larson and Hamlin, who are actually starting to fight with each other, which, if they keep fighting with each other, that could allow Briscoe the time he needs to try and pull something off in front of them. As they start to let Briscoe gap them, I think the two of them need to realize that they need to work together. Both of them pass Briscoe. Then you can duel it out for the lead. Problem is, again, then you're giving one driver, the driver who has the second position right now, clean air, versus the dirty air. So here we go. We got the 20 of Christopher Bell passing the 22 of Logano, making his way up towards the top 5. So here we go again. The 20 car of Christopher Bell. He's gonna be on the charge looking for something. But 6 laps to go. I don't know if 5 laps now. 5 laps to go. I don't know if he'll have enough time to get there. He's gonna try it, but I think Bell is gonna come up just short. Now he's gonna have an 18 to 20 point cushion here, but say again, those cushions can go away in a flash at Talladega. So he will have to still be protecting points when we get to Talladega in a couple of weeks next week. But again, Denny Hamlin all over the back bumper now of Chase Briscoe. He drives up to him and he's gonna just drive right around. He's gonna try and drive right around him. So Hamlin had enough car to get by Larson when they both had some dirty air on them. And now Denny Hamlin has the lead, 4 laps to go. And Denny Hamlin is your leader with only 4 laps to go. Again, Bell and Briscoe both entering Talladega with 19 and 17 point leads respectively. Perfectly fine. They can make that work. It's just a matter of getting through this one. 3 laps to go. 3 more times around for all these drivers here. Just hoping to make it back around without a caution flag. So yeah, here we go. Again, we're just chilling out here. We got 3 laps to go. 3 more times around. We got Hamlin out in front of the field. We've got Briscoe and Larson door to door, wheel to wheel, and there goes Larson to the lead. Larson to second. Larson to second here, and now Larson can try and run down Hamlin, but only 2 laps left. A lap and a half now. I don't know if Larson's going to have enough time to run him back down. We'll have to see what kind of speed the 5 might have hidden in that thing, because for whatever reason, the 5 does have a knack for finding speed, but I don't know if there's enough time. White flag is out. 1 lap to go. Denny Hamlin in control of the field. And let's see. Denny Hamlin, he's got a 1.5 second lead on Larson. Barring a crash, I believe it will be Denny Hamlin taking this one. Larson, he got around Briscoe. Briscoe does not have 4 tires, so it looks like it will be a Briscoe coming home in the 3rd position here. Christopher Bell gets his way all the way up to 4th, so that's some extra points there. And here it is, off of turn 4. Denny Hamlin uncontested for the win once he got clear of Briscoe. It was pretty much over. Larson 2nd. Bell gets 3rd, though. There we go. Christopher Bell passes Briscoe for 3rd. Those 4 tires coming in handy. Briscoe with 2 tires. Valiant effort, comes home 4th. Rounding out the top 5, Tyler Reddick, Logano, Bowman, Kyle Busch, Ryan Preece, and Brad Keselowski, the other drivers inside the top 10. And just a real quick, we're going to run down through where the other playoff drivers finished. Then we're going to pop on out of here because, we got Chase Elliott, we got Joey Logano finishing in 6th. So that's a good job for Joey. Then we got Chase Elliott coming home in the 18th position, which initially did not look like a good like it was going to be a good day, but good job for him hanging on to that one. And then Byron and Blaney both having their separate incidents that ended up knocking them out of the field. So, again, I know it's pretty brief wrap up, but hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you guys did enjoy this live stream, feel free to leave a like, subscribe if you guys are new. If you guys don't miss any future videos or live streams. Not sure what I'll be doing on Saturday. Friday, I definitely will not be around. Saturday, it's a toss-up, but there we go. Denny Hamlin advancing to the championship 4. Sunday, we will absolutely be here for the Cup Series race, so hopefully you guys enjoy it. Now, I'll see you guys next video. Live stream, whatever you guys decide to do with the rest of your night. Have a great night, everybody, and goodbye!